Welcome everyone, Sir Heroscape here today, coming at you with a live review of Renegade Con here in just a minute. Renegade Con's countdown is about a minute. Hello from the UK, Martin Newman. Welcome, that's awesome. Yeah, so we'll just be watching the live stream from Renegade Con for the announcements of the new Heroscape today, and giving live reactions. We'll spend some time looking at the cards after. They always, run through everything, and then obviously we'll talk through the implications of certain designs and the cards themselves. Bill Flint, watching Renegade on my smart TV, Sir Heroscape on my laptop while cutting my classic iron cards I've been laminating. Awesome. Welcome. So yeah, the Renegade Con's about to start in about 30 seconds here, so we'll get switched over to that view here. Oops. There we go. So that's going to get started here. We'll go ahead and unmute it once it's countdown ready. Basically today, there's a ton of stuff that's going to be released. This release should be October, I believe, is when they're going to send our stuff, and we're getting a bunch. We should be getting Wall, we should be getting Road, the last of the AOA original campaign from Avalon Hill. So yeah, we should be getting a lot today. So a lot to be excited about. Well, we'll leave it muted so I don't get dinged for any copyright infringement until they actually start. But yeah, oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, their audio is so low. Holy. Okay, I can't even hear their audio. Can you hear their audio? Their audio is terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm on YouTube and all my volumes are up. All my volumes are up. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna chat on their chat. All their volume is
Meanwhile, as the pirates of the Crimson Fleet increase their raids, fierce and
There we go.
unfathomable denizens of Valhalla's depths rise to challenge them.
There we go. I can hear it better now too.
In October of 2025, this year. Lee, what's our first reveal for Embers of War?
Alright, wow, they're jumping right into it.
Some of you might have seen this Army expansion teased over the past few weeks, and I'm excited to say that the Dreadnoughts are finally joining the battle.
I love the Dreadnoughts.
This expansion comes with the
Yes.
Dreadnoughts of the Caraway Cavern,
Nice.
their fearless captain, the Crimson Widow.
Yeah. Ooh.
The Dreadnoughts were recruited
I actually
by the
really
Crimson
like that
Widow,
paint
and they're
job.
fiercely loyal to her.
Ooh.
You've been looking for more pirates. You are totally in luck with this set. What they have is Captain's Orders. Before taking a turn with the Dreadnoughts, you can first take a turn with their captain or a pirate
Yep,
hero.
we knew that. Yep.
The more pirates you have in the Dreadnoughts crew, the better.
They used to be 100 points, and they used to have 4 attack,
The Dreadnoughts is Mortal Blow.
but they
After
had to drop that
attacking,
because
roll
it was
one
too
attack die
good.
for each wound you inflicted in that attack.
Mortal Blow is
for each
so
additional
good on
slow
those
roll,
guys.
you'll inflict another wound.
Owie.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a cold.
They're holding some mean-looking weapons. And there's a lot to talk about pirate captains on this army card, so if it's only fair if we introduce you to one of our favorite captains, the Crimson Widow.
Yeah, she's so good.
Since every good captain needs a crew, the
She's
first
so
ability
good.
on this army card is Hire Crew. At the start of the game, you may choose a unique squad from an army, and
Any
for
unique
that game,
squad.
that squad becomes pirates, replacing the class listed on their army card.
This is a really cool ability. Imagine making your Frostclaw
Yeah.
Paladins or Forward Glide
No,
Snipers
I know it's
pirates.
so bad.
They'll need a little pirate hat. or a
Frostclaw
hat.
Paladins are gonna be pirates.
Oh yes, little pirate hats would be amazing,
Crazy.
especially on like the bears. So
Frostclaws are gonna be
Yes.
they're already the meta,
Yes, little pirate hat accessories, love it.
and now they get to
Anyway,
be
back
pirates.
to Crimson Widow. So
Wow.
once
It's crazy.
Crimson Widow has a squad of pirates to command, she unlocks 2
Yeah, the hook
other
swords are sweet.
super cool abilities.
Box to battle.
Using Pirate Commander, while there's an order marker on Crimson Widow, all pirates you control increase their attack value by 1 when attacking adjacent figures.
Yeah, so that makes
And
the
with Midnight Raid,
Dreadnought
if you reveal
super
the
good.
X order marker on Crimson Widow's army card, you can choose up to 2 pirates you control within 6 spaces to move around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you want to give these
That's
pirates
really
a
good.
shot, you can pre-order this expansion on our web store using the link in the chat below.
Yep.
The standard unpainted edition is $40, and the premium painted edition is $60. The set will be released
so
in
much.
October. I also want to remind everyone that all army cards and character bios for the characters revealed today
4
will be
figures.
on Heroscape.com. So don't worry about rushing to read the card or screenshot or anything. You can head over to the site
$15
after the
a
stream to check
figure.
everything out.
Yeah, it's rough.
Alright, time to move on to the next reveal.
That's the
second
world we
army
live in.
expansion coming in October is the Great Bow Archers and Scions of Icaria.
Let's
The
go.
Scions of Icaria
Common
are an
pack.
eclectic bunch of princelings known for their squabbling.
That's awesome.
And their enemies,
Ha
the
ha.
Great Bow Archers, are fighters trained
That's
in
so
dragon
cool.
slaying.
Look at those mini dragons. That's
This
sweet.
army expansion contains 2 common squads.
Okay.
A 2-figure common
2-man
squad
common
of
squad.
archers and a 3-figure common squad
Nice.
of scions.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
nice. Can you walk us through
So
the
mini
army cards
Braxis,
of the
mini
Great Bow
Mimring,
Archers?
mini
Yeah,
Nilfheim. I
can
love
do
that.
So these are large figures wielding giant bows. Their
Oh
ability is simple but really powerful. It's
2 life commons.
The long shot specialist ability says that when a great bow archer who hasn't moved attacks a figure at range 4 or greater,
2 life
that's
commons.
the attack value. If the target range is 7 or more, you instead gain +2 to the attack value. This squad has a range of 7, which is insane. I think my strategy would be to set them up somewhere high and attack from there. Then I'd hopefully get the height advantage bonus too. What do you think?
You guys, this is
That's a pretty solid strategy. That's
Great Bow
where I
Archers
like
are
to be
broken.
When I have
this is
ranged
broken.
figures,
We have to
but
talk about this.
I should probably
6
tell everyone
move,
about the dragons. That
7
means ladies
range,
are hunting, the
3
Scions
attack,
of
3
Icaria.
defense, 2 life common
These
squad.
Scions like to rub elbows with the royalty,
Frick.
the elite,
We'll
and
talk
other
about that.
dragons, as you can see in their cleave to
Oh,
the mighty
5-1-2 too.
ability. At
Bad
the start of the
stats.
game, you choose an archmage, dragon,
Archmage!
or queen, any hero you control, and make them the liege of all scions you control. You can take a turn with the chosen liege right after you assign them to the role.
Let's
The
go!
Draconic Breath special attack lets them target figures within 3 clear sight spaces with range 4 and attack 2. And, of course, in true dragon
Let's
fashion,
go.
these little babies can fly.
Let's
Awesome.
go. Bonding with
Anyone can
Sonlin.
pre-order this expansion right now.
Bonding with
Use the link in the
Sonlin.
chat below.
Okay.
The standard
Okay.
edition includes
That's
unpainted minis
awesome.
for $40, and the premium painted edition is $60.
Yeah, Bonding with
So
Sonlin
make
is
sure to check out the
dope.
links that our mods are dropping.
Archmage. I have to go back and check.
But
Queen, it was like
let's
Queen,
move on to the next
Archmage, and
reveal.
something else.
Lee,
I
you wanna talk about this
can't
one?
remember what the other ones were.
Oh my
Dope.
goodness, yes. This one's super exciting.
That's
So
really
this
cool.
is
The
another
Great
set
Archer is
I know
completely
people have
broken.
been
We'll
waiting
talk
for.
about
I'm
that.
excited to announce the
Completely
Krakenling
broken,
and
but-
Gellryie Vanguards. This expansion contains a 4-figure common squad and a new common hero.
Okay.
The Gellryie Vanguards are the Curie's aquatic cousins, and after years of non-intervention,
Okay.
they finally joined the battle with terrifying monsters in tow.
Aquatic cousins.
Like the Krakenling. Let's take a look at the army card.
Maybe some
for
sort of bonding with the Kraken.
Gellryie. Anais, can you break this?
Actually,
squad
that
down for
mini's
us?
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie,
So
that
the
looks
Gellryie
cool.
Vanguards are a fierce common squad
3-2.
with some really cool abilities. Their
Vanguard
first
Pierce.
ability, Title Advance, says that at the start of each
Each
round,
round.
after placing your order markers, you may move each fierce and unfathomable figure you control up to one space each for each order marker on the Gellryie Vanguard.
Wow.
Their next ability is
Okay.
Defend the Deep. You can add 2 to your defense value when a Gellryie Vanguard is on water or when it's defending against a figure that has a height advantage. And as you might have guessed, these fishy folks
Interesting.
are natural-born swimmers.
Okay.
The Gellryie Vanguards do not have to stop their movement when entering a water space.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
love
makes
this squad
sense.
so much. I
5,
can't wait
1,
to gush
3,
about them more,
2.
but
So
I should
basically,
probably tell y'all about
they're
their not so little
strong
buddy,
in
the
water
Krakenling.
or when they're getting height
The
attacked.
Krakenling is a large
Common
common
hero.
hero,
Monster
meaning you can have
unfathomable.
multiple of these buddies in your army. The warp space ability
Common hero with
says
3
that
life.
Instead of moving normally,
So an
you
uncommon
may
hero.
place a Krakenling on an empty space
Whatever.
within 4 spaces to pop around the battlefield. And then there's the Eldritch Switch, where
What?
after moving normally, a Krakenling may switch spaces with an adjacent single-space figure.
Oh my
if you
god.
move this way, those figures don't take any leaving engagement attacks.
Sheesh.
Next, there is the Flailing Tentacles ability.
Holy
A
frick.
Krakenling may attack up to 3 times, but you must reduce the number of attacks by 1 for each wound it has. And like the Gellryie Vanguards,
Oh my gosh.
these huge buddies have the swim ability, meaning they don't
It's
have
a
to stop their
Hydra.
movement when entering the water.
This expansion is super cool.
It's a Hydra
I'm
with
very
attack
excited.
4, defense 5.
Like
That's
other army expansions, there will be
crazy.
both a standard and a premium painted edition.
Warp space, so
This
it's
expansion,
teleporting around the map?
Standard edition is
Holy
$40.
crap.
The premium painted edition is $60.
Oh my gosh.
And this is set to be
Dang.
released in October of 2025 this year. And you can pre-order now using the link in the chat below.
Donald
We have
Zimmerman.
One more army expansion to reveal
Okay.
before we get to
Okay.
terrain.
Fair point.
This is the Heroes of Arboreas.
Uncommon, you have to keep track of a
Each
separate
the
card.
wizards
That's
in this
interesting.
set seeks to refine their power and connection to the natural world, but their
Yeah, this is
methods
the,
cannot be more diverse.
This is the rest of
While
our
some cultivate
um,
groves and are themselves cultivated in
warden,
return.
not wardens, what are they
Others
called?
exert their arcane might to break
Anyway.
the minds of beasts and person alike.
These are the rest of
This
the
set contains
familiar
5 new
people.
unique heroes, all with their own awesome abilities.
Yeah, these are
We're gonna
these are all
break
really
each of
good.
these heroes down for you
Well,
now.
mostly.
So let me start by telling you about Marachot, Mind Whisperer. This Dryan wizard can control beasts and control the minds of other heroes. So let's dive in.
Yeah, this one's
Alright.
interesting,
Command
but
Familiar allows Marachot to take a turn with a small or medium.
Yeah,
beast
so
to
we've seen
control
Command
after
Familiar
revealing
before.
an order marker on Marachot. The Staff of Curapirin allows Marachot to add 2 automatic skulls.
yeah,
to
2
attack
automatic
rolls
skulls
when
is
rolling for
pretty
a normal
nasty.
attack. And her final ability is Marachot's Whisper. After revealing an order marker on Marachot and before taking a turn with her, you can choose a unique hero within 2 spaces of her and roll to try and control their mind. If you succeed, you can temporarily take control of that hero
Basically,
and take a turn with them.
Basically a Mind Flayer.
And the next hero in this
Which
set
is
is Holochat,
meh.
Corruptor of Beasts.
This one
Holochat is perfect for those of you who love beasts.
is amazing.
Like me and goats.
This one is
Like,
amazing.
She's literally the goat.
Heroes of
Her
Arboreas,
first ability is
Holochat.
Command of the Wild.
I
and
love
Says
this.
that after revealing an order marker on the army
Ice
card,
Trolls are
or taking
so
a
fun
turn
to
with
play
her,
with.
you can take
I've
a turn
play
with up to
tested this.
2
Well,
small,
not directly,
medium,
but
or
just
large
on
beasts
my own.
you control. And then there's her Staff of the Longhand special attack. this range 6 attack 2 move lets you
Yeah, before
use this
or
attack
after using the
before your
normal
normal
attack. So you get a special
And her
attack, a
combo
normal
beast
attack,
ability says
and
that
you
while
get to
defending
activate 2 beasts.
against an attack
So you're getting
from a
4
beast,
activations.
Hollow increases her defense
This
value
is going to
by
be
2.
awesome. I'm
And
really going to like
all
Hallowcha.
this just wasn't
And
cool enough.
large.
She also
Large.
applies, like, if you look
That
at
mini's
herself,
probably
like, you'll actually see that
very
she's
big.
levitating. Like,
A large
amazing.
8. Holy crap.
Yeah, very cool.
And
but
flying.
Next, let's talk about Vrono the Branch.
Sheesh.
This small hero has just one ability, but it's super cool. Sharp
Okay.
Thorns says
Oh,
that if
for
an
45
enemy
points, a
small or
3/5/2/4?
medium figure moves onto a space adjacent to Vrono, where a figure can
Okay.
end movement, you can roll a d20. If you
Okay.
roll a 12 or higher, the figure ends its movement and lowers its attack value by 1 until the,
To the end of the
turn.
current turn.
And if you roll an 18 or higher, Vrono's
Sheesh.
Sharp Thorns
They also
deal
receive a
1 wound to
wound.
that
Basically an
figure.
engagement strike.
Very cool.
No, I get.
I love
Wow.
it. I love it.
I love little Vrono, like just like Vrono compared to the
Yeah,
other
that's
figures.
actually...
You're just like, "Aw,
And
it's
because
a
it's a
cute
beast, it
little
can
baby."
bond with
Alright.
One
arrow
move,
grunts.
but it's awesome.
Yeah.
For 45 points?
Little sassy baby.
That's
Alright.
a solid
Anyway,
bonder for the
onto
arrow grunts.
number 4 from the set. This is Gellryie, Grovekeeper, also Dryan Wizard.
I can't remember what he
His
does.
first ability is Command Familiar, just like Marochat.
Okay.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, we've seen
And
that.
then,
Yeah.
Their Gellryie has
Wow.
Wicked
6,
Thorns.
5,
Has
1,
the
4,
same
3.
rules as Vrono's Sharp Thorns.
Yeah.
Gellryie also has Reach. So if an enemy figure
Okay.
is within 2 spaces of Gellryie and its
Yeah,
level
so
is
Reach,
no
we've
more
seen that
than
from Hydra
9
before.
levels above,
Which,
or 3
base
levels
attack
below
of 4,
Gellryie,
which
you
is
can
great.
add 1 to his range value when
that's
attacking
great.
that
6
figure.
life, too.
And his last
90
ability
points,
is
so a
Gift of
cheaper
the
one.
Forest.
That's good.
At the end of the
Dryan,
round,
yeah.
if Gellryie is next to a tree or like a underbrush piece, you may remove 1 wound marker from his army card.
What?
Sweet. And last but certainly not least,
At the end? Oh, at the end of the round. Oh, okay. I thought it was turn.
This is
At the
a
end of the
unique
round.
beast hero
Okay.
with 2 abilities. First is Renew. If Chana is within clear sight spaces
3,
of a
5,
wizard
1,
that you
2,
control
3.
instead of
Okay.
attacking, you may roll a d20, and if you roll a 12 or higher, you can remove a wound marker from a friendly adjacent wizard.
It's
or beast.
interesting.
And Chana's last
But also not
ability is
good
Stealth
enough.
Fly. The stealth
Instead
makes
of
it so you don't
attacking
take
is so
any
big.
leaving engagements.
And 12 or higher is not easy.
So the standard
that's hard
edition
to pull
is
off,
$50,
just for one wound.
and the premium painted edition is $70. This is available to pre-order right now.
Seriously?
using the link in
You
the chat
guys,
below.
And all
Oh
of
my
these
gosh.
heroes synergize with the figures like Awashia, Master of Tides,
Why?
Anshu, the Welkanai from
Why is
Battle
it
for the West
70?
Ring Battle
Why isn't it
and
60?
Rockshot, Steward
The
of
the
Death,
Kyrie
the
box,
Annihilation
every
Master
box has
set.
been the
So
same.
I am super excited for
Like-
everyone to
like
finally
every box
get
has
to,
been the
get
same.
their whole Dryan family together.
Why are
and
5
try them all out.
figures
It's- oh my gosh.
on
Good
$70? The
Yeah,
Kyrie
it's awesome.
pack, when
and
we got
before
the
we
Kyrie
move on
pack,
to
that was
terrain
the
reveals, I'm gonna
that was the
remind
same
everyone
that was the
that
same price
check
point.
out all of these army
Like, what
cards
the-
in more detail
Like, what
on
the flip?
Heroscape.com,
What is going on?
along with character
Now,
bios,
maybe it's
free online
because
scenarios,
Marucha or
and
Hallowcha,
facts.
Hallowchat's
Pretty cool.
large,
So, after the
but
stream,
like
go to Heroscape.com.
there's
but alright,
Vrono's tiny.
Let's talk about terrain.
Golly, come on! What the?
Alright.
That is
We
insane.
have 2 new terrain expansions to
It's the
reveal
same-
today.
I
The
mean, you just
first
made us
is
pay
the
60
runes
for
of Lars
4 figures, and
Edge.
now, well,
This
3
set
figures?
provides
Well, 4.
players with versatile
Anyway,
Maro wall terrain
yeah, I
pieces
don't know.
that can be used to create fortifications and obstacles.
This is awesome,
And
though.
also,
Anyway, we'll
they
talk
are
about that other
stackable,
stuff later,
so you
but this
can
is
create
awesome.
Some truly epic walls and just
The wall terrain pack is
crazy
great.
tall structures.
Yeah, I know,
That's right.
I know they went up because
Here's
of
a
tariffs,
full
but I
breakdown
don't know
of
why
everything
they're
in this set.
changing the
So this
expansion packs
contains over
so much, because it
30
was
wall
55
terrain
was the
pieces.
standard.
You can mix
I-
and match
I
wall
understand that it
pieces
went up
with
because
your
of tariffs,
existing
I know
Heroscape
that.
terrain to create
But
unique
why is a
battlefields.
pack of 5
It's
heroes
very cool.
now 70 when the standard has always been
honestly, like, I can't
55,
wait to
and
see
they
what
said they were
everyone
bumping it
builds
up to
with this,
60,
and
but now that one's 70?
yeah, it's
Like,
gonna
I
be
don't know.
awesome. Like, just crazy walls
Doesn't make
like,
sense.
everywhere. It's gonna be awesome.
Anyway,
and there's new pieces.
looks
in
like
it
we're
to
getting,
provide more options, which will be fun.
Quite a bit more walls, which is
so
good.
Everyone,
This is a
can
super
pre-order this
important
train
pack.
set now using the link in chat. The expansion
This is a super
$70,
important pack to
and
have
it's
because it's going to make
scheduled
map
to release
making
in
actually
October
reasonable.
2025.
October's a good month. It's gonna be a good
It's
month.
Over
If
30
anybody with an
stackable
October
walls, that's gonna be
birthday,
really
it's
good.
Celebrating.
That's going to make map making
all right,
really
everyone.
good.
The last terrain expansion we're revealing today is the Roads of Valhalla. With
Yes.
this expansion, you can add speed and
This is so
strategy
good.
to your battlefield maps. The road terrain tiles let you boost movement, and short walls that attach to the road let you create custom bridges, perfect for controlling the flow.
This is really, really good.
You can mix and match with your
This is awesome.
Heroscape terrain.
And on screen now, you can see exactly what's in the set. There are 22 terrain pieces in the set, which includes 1 hex and 5 hex road tiles, along with short walls that snap into the 5 hex tiles, allowing you to make spiffy bridges. And like Anaya said,
they're providing 2 bridges.
Your armies faster. If your figure's movement consists entirely of road spaces, you may add 3 spaces to the movement of that figure.
So 16 road hex tiles.
You can pre-order this terrain expansion right now.
The original Road to the Forgotten Forest was 8 2 hex and 8 single hex, and then 1 bridge. This is 2 bridges and 16 total.
Y'all are gonna ruin me. And to that I say,
so
your family and friends
pretty much
to get
about
this
the
for you
same.
for your birthday.
You did get trees with it and a figure though.
Perfect bribery.
I think this is pretty cool though that you get 2 bridges. I actually like that a lot. I think that's really cool.
An accessory to announce. Introducing the Valhalla dice and tray set. Lee, can you talk a bit about this?
Okay.
Oh my goodness, yes, especially since I love dice.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This premium dice tray and set is super cool and awesome.
That's really cool.
It features a beautifully illustrated map of Valhalla.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's made from a durable faux leather, and it snaps together, so it's easy to set up, easy to store, and easy to carry to game nights, tournaments, or wherever it is you play Heroscape. And on the back, there is a spiffy gold foil stamp,
I like that,
making it look super epic.
Yeah, I love a snappable
dice tray. This is for
pre-orders. For game store gaming on the go.
Is this going to be...
but yeah, I'm really stoked about this because I'm a total dice goblin. You know, I love my shiny click-clacks, so that's going to be great to add to the collection. This set contains 10 engraved acrylic combat dice and a 20-sided die. Everything you need to roll right out of the box. The colors of these are super nice. It's a 2-color die with gold painted symbols, and they match the dice tray perfectly. So
that's really cool.
You can flex on all your friends.
Yeah.
You can pre-order this now.
I actually like that marbled look.
Thank you,
that's pretty cool.
This dice and tray set is $30 and will release alongside the Army and Terrain expansions in October.
Cool.
We have one final October reveal for y'all today.
I think that's
good. That is our new pre-order promo. If you pre-order at least one of the October releases from our web store, you'll get a special promo for free. And this ARC's promo is Deflectatron. Deployed from hidden spy satellites far above Valhalla, these sturdy soulborgs descend upon the battlefield, projecting impenetrable force fields around key assets of Vidar's war effort.
Wow, 25 points.
Anais, can you talk a bit about what Deflectatron can do?
I sure can. So Deflectatron is a medium common hero with some great abilities. The first ability is orbital deployment. Deflectatron doesn't start the game on the battlefield. At the start of the round, before placing order markers, you may play one Deflectatron that has not entered the battlefield on an empty space within 3 clear sight spaces of friendly figures. This means you can drop Deflectatron into battle when you see fit, making for some great strategic moments. Then there's the passive ability, which means a Deflectatron never takes leaving engagement attacks. It's pretty cool. And finally,
interesting,
the magnetic deflector shield. Figures adjacent to one or more Deflectatrons cannot determine clear sight of any figures. You can also use this ability to shield attacks on your adjacent figures. If an adjacent figure is being attacked from a distance, you can use this shield to change a die result that was not a shield to a shield. Deflectatrons are a powerful ally to have on your team.
And with this being a common hero and only 25 points, you can reasonably have multiple Deflectatrons in your army, making for some pretty great plays. If you want to get your hands on one of these, you can get one for free by pre-ordering at least one of October releases from our web store or a participating local game store. Remember, game stores have a different offer for this price, so please check with your game store to make sure they're participating, and if not, reach out to Renegade.
Austin Blood. Gonna order 4 separate orders to get 4 Deflectatrons.
And also, if you're wondering how to get your hands on,
I don't know why you're making a promo common. We all want. I mean, it's 25 points, and that's an anti-range unit.
Yeah,
that's going to be a very competitive anti-range unit. You can pre-deploy it.
On screen now is a handy
you can drop like 4 of those
web store that orders are not
Sheesh.
shipped until all items in your order are in stock and ready to ship. So make sure to space things out so you're not waiting for anything. But luckily we have a ton of October releases.
Okay, so they're all they're all being released at the same time. Okay.
All right, let's move on to organized play. I want to remind everyone
Silly.
about all the great stuff
I don't know why they did a
going on
common
with the
for
Heroscape OP program.
promo.
Game stores all over
Yeah,
the world
that's
are hosting
incentivizing people to
Heroscape
buy-
events. Renegade is supporting stores with special OP kits.
Buy
The current figure is
multiple
Decker the Burrow Breaker,
sets
but we have
separately,
another one coming
but
in
then having to
late
pay
summer.
shipping on all of it.
Lee, can
That's
you tell
weird.
everyone who our next OP figure is?
Unless you buy it at your local
Yeah,
game
of
store,
course.
actually.
Our next organized play figure is Raylin, the Curie Warrior.
Oh, that's right,
Your friendly
Raylan.
local game store.
Yeah, we've
Order
seen her.
kits containing this new Raylin figure, and you can
Yeah.
get them through participating in store events starting in August.
She's
That's
my
right.
fave. I'm so excited.
Forgot that she was
So
coming.
let's talk about
Raylan
her
4.0.
Her first ability is unyielding.
Oh,
This
that's
ability
so
makes it
silly.
that other
We have
players
4
cannot
versions
gain
of Raylan.
control
I wonder
of,
how many we're
move,
gonna
or
get.
take turns with her. No sneaky mind tricks over here. All right. Then there's Whirlwind Assault. With
I do
this
like
ability,
this,
she can
though.
attack
I
any
really
number
do
of
like
times
this
during her turn,
this
but
version.
She cannot attack the same figure more than once. So your opponent
Raylan version
definitely won't
4.0 is
want
actually
to
very
stop
good,
her.
in my opinion. I really
And her
like her.
Vengeful Swoop ability says that once per turn, after a friendly figure you control within 4 clear sight spaces defends against a normal attack, if they take 1 or more wounds, you can place Raylan on an occupied adjacent space to the attacking figure and roll a d20. On an
So
8 or
silly.
higher, that figure takes 1 wound.
So silly.
talk about
You
an
can
assist,
literally
and obviously,
teleport
like,
her like 10
Raylin,
spaces
as
away.
always, like she flies, so she's just
crazy.
awesome to have on any team and still a threat.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, tell your local game store to get involved with Heroscape Organized Play and to order this kit for Organized Play events beginning in August. We also want to give an early peek at our October OP kit.
So the OP figure coming after Raylin, dropping in October, will be Deflectatron. So
Wait.
you might
Oh.
be like, but you just said it was the pre-order promo, but now it's the OP promo for
Okay.
October. Why?
Okay.
Well, earlier we mentioned that Deflectatron is a common hero.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we know you'll likely want multiple Deflectatrons to
Good
launch
job,
your order.
Renegade.
So,
Yeah.
exactly.
Good
Yeah.
job, Renegade.
So we decided to make
Well
this
done.
both our pre-order promo for
Smart.
October releases and our OP kit
Yep.
for October tournament. So this will present more ways players can acquire Deflectatron.
That's super
figures.
smart.
Awesome.
That's super smart.
Be sure to ask your
Well
store
done.
about Heroscape Organized Play and secure this awesome figure when
Yeah.
kits drop later
Yeah.
this year. And
Hot
if you're
cheese
looking to get
saved.
more involved
Yeah,
in Organized
exactly.
Play, head over to the Heroscape Battle Network.
For sure saved.
The Battle Network is a Heroscape Organized Play website which also serves as a community hub.
Yeah,
for
the
players,
website
judges, and
needs
event
work though, you
organizers.
guys. Come on.
It's also a comprehensive tournament software.
You really need
you can
to
find the closest
really
event
need to
you
get on
using the
Cardio's
Heroscape Battle Network. Use the
case and
convenient event finder and get signed
make
up
battle
for
work
an event.
much better. Come
Head
on
over
now.
to the Battle Network and make an account using the link in the chat below.
I also want to mention our thriving Heroscape community over on Discord. Join the Discord chat to chat with other
Yay,
Heroscapers,
join the
show
Discord.
off your maps, post your painted minis. Like, I love hanging out and chatting with y'all in Discord, so head on over there.
Yeah, Discord's a great place to chat with us directly, and definitely when we get that wall terrain. I want to see how high.
Yeah,
some
honestly,
walls
the wall and road are going to be the
so make
most
sure to
important
join
expansions.
Our Discord
Those
is
are-
also
those
home
are
to
awesome.
the,
Those are huge.
Wardens of Valhalla. If you are passionate about Heroscape and the Heroscape organized play scene, you can apply to be a warden. Link is in the chat right now.
Well, now let's talk about the Heroscape Store Championship events, which
Oh,
are in full
yeah.
swing.
That's right.
So participants in these premier
Yes.
level events will have the chance to win some amazing prizes, such as an exclusive figure and a reserved seat at Day 2 of the World Championship at Gen Con 2025.
Put it in chat if you've
Right.
qualified
Stores
already.
all over
I
the world
haven't.
are hosting
Ah.
events. There are a total of 8
I might have to
weeks
do
of
the
events
qualifier.
planned.
We'll see.
We'll cycle through the
I'll
calendars
actually I'll
on
probably
screen
play in it
now.
anyway. Why
If
wouldn't
your
I?
store isn't running an event, tell them about it now. There are very limited numbers of kits still available, and stores that urgently sign up can still run an event in the last 2 weeks of
Let's
June.
see. I think.
And
where's-
remember,
oh, I didn't
these
see
are
it. Oh, here we
happening
go.
all
Oh,
over
there's a
the
bunch
place.
of.
So use the Battle Network to find the
Oh, these
closest event
are-
near you.
Well, these are
just might have
past.
one
That was
within
week.
driving distance.
May
Or walking distance, who knows?
Yeah, we're in June now, so
Even if
these
the
are
regular
old.
store
These are
wasn't
where
able
the
to put one
these are where
on
the events
Steam.
were.
So, Battle
So we
Network
haven't
is
seen
very
the
cool.
future.
I love it. Be sure to check it out.
Sour
Yeah,
cream
and
qualified.
You
Nice.
for sure won't want to
Nice.
miss this event. This is our biggest OP event initiative to date. So head over to the Battle Network and make an account using the link in chat.
Let's
The
see,
Battle
where's
Network
ours?
is how you can sign up for
Where's
events
ours?
and reserve
I
your
think ours is
spot in
probably
a
on the
store
next page.
championship event near you.
Yeah, because we're
And just
June
like Anaya said, we
14.
have
There
a
we
very
are.
limited
Just for
number
fun
of
games.
left,
Peoria,
and
Illinois.
stores can still
If you're
apply
around
to
in the
run a
Peoria
store
area,
championship
come on
event
out.
during the last 2 weeks of June. If you want
Yeah,
your
these
store
are
to sign
all.
up,
Man, there's a
visit the
ton of
Battle
game
Network and
stores. This is
apply.
awesome.
Courtney,
That they've been doing just the
our
last
lovely
month.
OP and events manager, will typically respond within a business day.
This is super awesome.
Yeah, and like Lee mentioned, there's some really cool prizes for folks who participate and exclusive prizes for the winners. Lee, can you give a quick recap for folks on what prizes they can win from store champ events for anyone who might have missed the earlier reveals?
I think it's just
I
a
would love
Awashia,
to.
right?
So first place
It's
will
in the-
receive this Awashia figure
Right,
on a
the-
gold base,
the gold
plus
Awashia,
a
yeah.
foiled Awashia army card with the 2025 store championship logo. First place will also receive a world championship invite, guaranteeing them a seat.
Don't mind
at
me as I
stage
blow my
2 of
nose. I'm a little
Worlds.
under the weather.
Second
You
to
can tell my
eighth
voice
place
is so
will
low.
receive an Awashia figure on a silver base, along with a foiled army card.
Yeah, there will be exclusive participation prizes as well. All players who competed in a store championship
Donald Zimmerman
event
just
will
finished
receive
pre-ordering. My
a
wallet
set of,
weeps.
a
Well,
clip
if
themed water markers.
you didn't, that's okay.
These
But my
water
affiliate
markers
link
are
is
both yellow,
here.
like the card
Where is
we
it?
use
There.
on the army
You can't
cards
see it. Anyway,
for those
affiliate link
reveals.
below. Here in the
we're
chat, or not in the
super
chat.
excited with how well store champs
If you guys are
going, but
pre-ordering Heroscape
there's
anyway, feel free to
even
use the
more coming
affiliate
up
link.
for
That's
OP.
just a great way to support the
Valkyrie
channel.
trial events
So,
also
by all
started this
means,
month.
please do
Or,
if you're
yeah,
going to be
it's
buying
June
it.
this month. Yep, they totally.
Yep.
It is June today.
It's June this month.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, it's still May.
Nope.
Yeah, we're halfway through the
These
year,
are
folks.
premier
That's
level
crazy.
organized play events with exclusive prizes. You can compete in a Valkyrie trial event for a chance to win an exclusive Leviathan figure and army card. First place will receive this Leviathan figure on
This
gold
is actually
base,
really cool.
plus a foiled Leviathan army card with the Valkyrie Trials logo. First place will also receive a World Championship invite.
I know who you are,
securing
Donald.
them a seat
I know.
at Day 2 of Worlds.
Your name
Second
shows up in my
to eighth
YouTube as
place
Donald,
will
though, so I'll
receive
refer
a
to you as
Leviathan
Donald.
figure
But I
on
know
a
who you
silver
are.
base, along with a foiled army card.
Plus,
Sidetail.
there will be exclusive participation
Hiding in the chat.
prizes. All players
Reveal your true
who
name.
competed in a Valkyrie trial event will receive a set of Utgar-themed order markers.
You know, this
and
is cool.
a glyph featuring Leviathan's
And, yes, Sidetail, thank you. That's awesome. Appreciate you,
allowing
man.
players to unleash the power
That was
of
all- yeah,
Leviathan's
thank you.
brutality aura. On screen now
Yeah,
is
this is
our
cool.
calendar of Valkyrie
Unique
trial
glyph
events
with
for 2025.
special Leviathan gold and
Use
silver.
this
That's
link
awesome.
ahead.
Yeah, ScapeCon, we're going to have one of these.
Signups are open on the Battle Network. The first Valkyrie trial event is
I'm
going
not
to be
familiar
held
with, like,
at
Osticon. I can't remember where that was. I'm
So,
going to have to go back and look, but I want to say
We
that's
have
near
a
me,
ton of
but maybe
events
not.
happening at Gen Con 2025. We're going to talk about how each event there, all of which you can sign up for now, we're dropping the link in the chat below. Lee, can you kick it off with some info about our World Championship event?
Yes, of course. So
Yeah, the
this
order
will
markers are
be
pretty
a
cool, yeah.
temporary tournament that
The red
runs
order
across
markers.
3 days, starting Thursday and ending Saturday. There will be tons of prizes to win, including a gold-based Raylan Icaria Warrior Mini, an exclusive Heroscape World Championship T-shirt with original artwork featuring Ulfgar and
That's right.
Leviathan,
I forgot that these are all the
Engraved
prizes.
an Elderwood Academy dice
Yeah, this is
tray,
cool.
Elder Academy Dice Tower, the chance to have your name immortalized into Heroscape, turned
That's
into
what
an
it's
anagram.
really all about.
Yeah, that's
Get your
freaking
name in
cool.
there.
Yeah,
So,
this
yeah.
is.
Have your name turned into an anagram.
Yeah, there's some
and
cool
that's
prizes.
that name is used for a future Heroscape character.
The white dice
And
are pretty
there's
dope, too.
So much more. I know we went through all these prizes in detail during our
Honestly,
last Renegade Con.
those are some
So
slick
if you want
trophies.
to learn more, you can
Not
go
gonna
back
lie.
and check that February stream using the link in chat.
The shirts are even cool. Like,
You are
some
able
dope
to
art, not
register
gonna lie.
for this event now.
It's pretty sweet.
Armando's dropping the link in the chat as we speak, so don't miss out and reserve your seat now.
Alright, and so we've got a lot more going on besides the World Championship event. So there's a bunch of other events
Andre
happening in
Johnson,
all
good
theme.
point. We'll talk about it.
There's truly something for everyone at this Gen Con. Like, no matter what your experience level is, your interest, like, there's something for you.
Yes
so
and
let's
no.
break down each one.
Yes and no,
starting
Lee.
with the Learn to Play Battle Box events. If you or someone you know is new to Heroscape, join this beginner event. We'll provide all the materials needed for players. All you have to do is
Double-edged
reserve
sword
your
from
spot
5 to
and
10?
come play.
Oh, that's right. I think on Thursday
Then there's our Heroscape
anyone
event
can do that
battle,
if they've already done their
Vengeance
heat.
for Valhalla. In this event, you'll
Unless
team
you
up
do
with
the 5
another player
o'clock
and work
heat, I
together
guess.
to attack or defend Utgar's fortress. We also have our relaxed pre-made events. There will be 2 different events featuring 2 different formats. The double-edged sword event on Thursday and the Highlander event on Saturday.
And if you're a mini painter or want to try and paint your first Heroscape mini, come and check out our paint and take area. We will have our own area for paint and takes throughout the show. Join us as we paint from noon to 5 each day. There is also a great fan event you can sign up for. This will be a team challenge, so grab a friend and
on Sunday,
compete against other teams.
Right.
There will be prizes for everyone.
Yeah, and if you are
Prizes
a young
for everyone.
Heroscape fan, or you have a little one who loves
Yeah,
the game,
actually, Sunday last year at Gen Con, they were just like,
this event is
they
for
had,
players ages
they'd given away a
15
ton of
and
prizes,
under. This is a
and then for those that were on
contemporary
Sunday,
event format, and armies
they still had a
will be
bunch of
provided.
prizes that they still had to give
Come
away,
compete
so they started
alongside
giving
other
away like 2
incredible
master
young
sets
heroes.
each round of the 2
And
event.
we'll be hosting a
So
special
people that stuck
all-time
around through the
challenge,
Sunday events,
once days 1 and
if they
2
have
of
extra
World
leftover
Championships are
prizes,
over on
yeah,
Saturday.
they're
This
just
will
gonna
be a
give out a
championship
bunch of
event
stuff.
and will feature the all-time format.
And our final event to announce is the Heroscape Bounty event. Come face off against me and other Renegade staff in this timed Heroscape event. But be warned, though, because we're piloting super-powered armies with unique rules.
Very interesting.
You participate to win special, unique prizes.
For these upcoming Gen Con events, we have added more maps to the map pool, incorporating more terrain, including lava.
Nice.
Today,
So these are
there
the maps.
are 6 new maps,
Cool.
including one from our community contest hosted
Very
by
cool.
Tommy Adams. Our new maps include
Congratulations
Cultivation by
to the map
Flash
makers.
_19, Firefly by Doomdane, Hot Water by
Cultivation.
Ulysses,
Nice.
Reefer by Sheep, and Velsa's Den by Shurid. And, drumroll please, our community contest winner is Ice Cider by Caps. Thank you to our
Very
team
cool.
of map makers who helped judge the maps.
Congratulations,
and to Tommy for
congratulations.
hosting this community contest. Check out these maps and more by visiting our map pool on Heroscape.com. But that covers all our Heroscape events.
Okay,
info
so
for Gen Con.
6 maps.
If you want to learn more about any of these events,
6 maps
or
and
participate, you can use the
5 of them have
below.
lava.
Spots are limited for all these events, so don't wait. Just sign up. Sign up now. I also want to let you know that Renegade is offering pre-order pickup again
That's gonna be
this year
crazy.
for any releases that will be available at or before Gen Con. You can order games online and pick them up
6
at
6 maps with 5 being lava.
Easy to remember, 1619.
Very
During
interesting.
the con to save money on shipping. If you're interested, use the code.
Yeah, I actually did this.
25
So
pickup
Gen Con's gonna be
for
crazy. You guys are gonna
be sure
I'm gonna have some
place
good
any
pictures and
orders
some videos
before
because
July 7th.
I purchased
Cutoff.
6
Um,
or no 5.
Remember,
I think
if you
5.
use
I think
the
I
Gen Con
purchased
pickup
5 of
code
every
during
common
purchase,
pack.
This game is not
So,
gonna ship
my arms
to
are
you
gonna be
and will
full.
only be available to pick up
But
at the con.
I did it
So,
separate purchases, but with the
Make
Gen
sure-
Con
make
pickup.
sure you're gonna be there to
So
pick
that
up.
way I'm gonna get the
So don't
I'm
forget
gonna
to
get a
stop
set
by
of
the booth.
dice for
Renegade
10
is
orders because I did 5 of each
16,
common
19.
pack.
The new
So I'm gonna get
August
10 sets of
Heroscape
dice.
Will be available
Yeah,
to
'cause why not?
purchase there, along with
So,
a bunch of
Gen Con
other
pickup, free
Renegade
shipping,
games.
10 extra
Also,
sets of dice.
you
Let's
don't
go.
want to miss out on seeing our ginormous Leviathan statue.
Oh my goodness, she's ginormous. Like,
Yeah.
it's seriously, like, one of the coolest selfie moments of the con. I'll be hanging out at the
Absolutely.
booth all day.
Sour
taking
cream, they're
prep
trying to
and
push the
as
crabs.
cool as
Yeah.
selfie moment
We'll
as-
see.
But, you know.
Maybe.
There's a picture of Scott on screen.
Maybe.
With the statue.
The
yeah,
formats
so make sure to take a
aren't-
selfie and you can
aren't
tag us
good
on
for
social
crabs,
media,
unfortunately.
because it's going to be really cool.
I'm sure a few people will run them.
Well, that's going to wrap up our Heroscape stream. Thank you so much, Lee, for joining us on another
Not
Renegade.
bad. About a 40-minute.
Oh my goodness, of course. Like,
40
I
minute
love being here at
video.
RenegadeCon. It's always fun. It's always a delight. talking about Heroscape with you, Anaya, so thank you.
Yeah, I love talking about Heroscape with you. Scott said he did not approve of that photo. Well,
That's funny.
Remember,
He
you
should
can
have
pre-order. Yeah. Remember, you can pre-order all the new expansions and packs announced today on our web store. Head over using the link in the chat below. Here's the shipping guide again. Also, remember to check out Heroscape.com to browse bios for all of our characters just announced, as well as army cards and lots of other cool stuff. It's great. There's how to play videos, paint guides, free scenarios. Check it out.
Yeah, Blood Gear,
And
I'm
also, make sure to stick around
I'm a
for
little
the rest of
hesitant. I
Renegade
don't know if
Con.
they'll
Like,
actually
this
give
is
me
a
10 sets of
huge
dice.
all-day event for this one
I mean,
Yeah, it's awesome.
I did
So,
purchase them
next up
separately,
is our Renegade
and so the
reveal
receipt
stream.
shows that I get a set of
That's
dice
where
for each
we
one.
have announcements for some new games,
But when I show up and
Gen
it's
Con
their
info,
Heroscape
and
saying, hey, I get 10
reminders
sets of
on
dice, I don't know if
upcoming
they'll be like, come on,
then
man,
at
just give me one
11:30,
set,
you
or
can
if they'll
join
actually
with
give me 10, we'll
Heroscape
see.
designers for a round table
I hope they give me
to
10.
discuss some of the new Heroscape stuff
Them's the
we
rules,
talked about
man.
in
I
this
purchased
stream.
10
So go
times,
check
you
that
know.
out. That
Each
was
purchase
pretty
gets a
cool.
set of dice.
At noon,
So,
we'll be airing special coverage from Renegade Games. So
them's
check
the
out their
rules.
recent Heroscape Store Championship event. Then at 12:30, come watch Rena chat with Lynn Zhu. And
I might have this in the background just myself, but the rest of this schedule I probably won't be doing any live streams.
I'm super excited.
Yeah,
So, I mean, feel free to
watch that also.
watch it yourself, but I'm not gonna
At 1,
do any live
check out
reacts
Board
on most of
Heroes
this
Geek
stuff.
video
I might
on
just have it in the
John
background for
Heroscape.
myself, but
At 1:30, you can take a peek at some upcoming Heroscape armies in action with Board Hero. Then at 2, watch our Welcome to Night Vale character creation video where Arena joined by Symphony Sanders, aka Tamika Flynn.
what is
from
pretty neat
Welcome to
about
Night
this
Vale,
Renegade Con
to
setup is
make
that a
fun
lot
new
of it is
character
Heroscape.
for the game and
Like,
show you all
Renegade
what
has
you can
gone
expect when it's
pretty
time
all
to
in
craft your first
on
season
Heroscape.
of Night Vale. That's also going to be very cool. And at 2:30,
Andre offload
special
any of those
guest
dice.
Board
Yeah, we'll
Game
see.
Nation
I have to decide what I'm going to
dives
do
into
with them.
history
I
of
might just
organized
use them as
play for
prizes for the
Axis and
channel.
allies. Those videos are always
Maybe I'll
fun.
sell them to make an extra
So
buck. I
that's
don't
gonna
know.
be really cool
But,
too. Oh,
you
these
know,
are so
having
cool.
prizes for
At
channels is
3,
always good.
Our very
So
own Dan Bojanowski and
I'll
Renegade
figure it
Hall
out.
of Fame
Or
member
just
Thomas
friends or
Howard
local
are
tournaments. I might do.
talking
Actually, I
all
might do
about
for the prize
diplomacy
pool
era
for
of
local tournaments for people that don't get to go to
and,
Gen Con or something like that.
I don't
So
want to spill. I don't want to spoil it all, but they are wearing costumes in the videos.
Oh my goodness.
Watch it.
It's great. It's
Just
great.
just a screenshot.
That's
At
a good point.
3:30, we're going to
No
be
G.I.
premiering
Joe
a
stuff.
deep dive on Monsters Menace the World and discussing the game.
it's only
and
6
all the
months away
classic
before it's
cool and
supposed to
creepy
drop.
monsters that inspired it. Then, make sure to stop by for our World of Darkness Storyteller Roundtable at 4 for a great chat with some great people. Then at 4:30, Ruel Gaviola is back.
For those of
and
you
he
still
will be
here,
doing a
stick
playthrough
around.
of a
We'll
new
after this
card game
closes,
from
we'll
its
look at the
specific
cards and
edition.
talk about implications of each
And
card
at 5,
for the new releases. We'll talk about them.
You won't want to miss our sneaky after credits scene. So make sure to stick around all the way to the end. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss this.
After
You
credits
guys,
scene.
You, Heroscape people, you're not going to want to miss this.
Hint, hint, nod, nod.
Our
I'll
next
watch
Renegade
the
Con will
VOD
be in
later.
October of 2025.
I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch
we'll keep
Renegade
this
Con for
there.
12 hours
Thank
or
you
whatever
all
until
for
5.
tuning
Or
in
not
and
12
watching.
hours, but you know, till
It's
5
been
p.m. I
a
got
great
things I
chat
gotta
with
do.
Make sure to join us on Discord. Follow us on Discord. Follow us on social media so you can keep up with everything. And
But
thank you
yeah,
for tuning into the stream.
I mean, so
see you later.
apparently they're
everybody.
gonna be sneaking some
Thanks,
stuff.
everyone.
So.
Bye.
All right, quick before the what's it called? Copyright. All right, so let's go to Heroscape character bios. I think this is where we go. Yeah, sour cream probably. You're probably right. At 5, they're probably doing some G.I. Joe stuff. I mean, I don't think we'll see cards. We'll probably just see. We'll probably just see like, I don't know, like some sort of little video or see the minis or something. I don't know. Okay, let's Embers of War. This is where we are. Okay, cool. Here we are. I think we'll just start at the top and work our way down. Oh my gosh, that art is so goofy. The minis look cool, but that art is silly. That is very goofy. Some of this art is really good. Like, I really like the Dreadnought art. That's really good. Dang, that looks gnarly. Rono. Whew. That art actually looks really cool. Anyway. Alright, so Chana the Zenithwing. Yeah, we'll just start at the top here. No particular order. So Chana's really interesting because, and let me know if you can't. No, actually, I think you guys can see that, right? Yeah. Well, you're not missing anything. Well, I guess you're missing the points. Let's see if let me shrink this a little bit. Nope, that's not gonna do it. Is that gonna do it? Oops, is that the wrong one? No. Sorry, gotta find the right thing to shrink this a little bit so it shows up a little better. Nope, that's not gonna work. Anyway, alright, well, let's maybe open it in a different tab. Is that better? No, what the heck? What am I doing wrong? Jeez. Let me try and zoom out a little bit so this isn't so bulky. I've got too many things in my OBS going on here. So I'm clicking like 10 different things and it's all a different link. Okay, let's go for the page here with Windows Capture. That's not helpful. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Duh. There we go. I'm smart. What? Look at me. I'm smart. Okay. Here we go. So let's do this. And that should work. Okay, so that should give us enough view. Let's move this a little bit there. And we'll just hide the... We'll just leave those there. Okay, cool. Alright, so we got this card. We got this. Alright, so we've got the Chana the Zenithwing. So, stat block, again, let's look at stat block really quick. So, 3 life, 5 move, 2 attack, 3 defense. Pretty standard for 30 points. It's kind of like, you know, 1 attack could kill it, but more likely like 2 attacks, right? It'll probably take 1 or 2 damage on the first attack. So, you know, it's going to survive for a couple hits, right? Which is good with stealth flying. That makes it a good unit to, like, just get in the way. Which I like. I like that units with stealth flying and things like that can gain value. For 30 points, you can gain value by just soaking attacks, getting in the way. And with a lot of these Dryons, you know, that's important, right? Getting in the way, taking soaking attacks while the Dryons are doing other things, which is good, okay? It is a beast, so it does bond with Arrowgruts, which is fine. There's nothing... I would say game-breaking about them about Zenithwing bonding with Arrowgruts, so I mean that's always cool. I love Arrowgruts and the fact that the Beast factions, they'll always add more to a dynamic, you know, Arrowgrut army, which is cool. Chana became my favorite familiar during testing. Familiar attacks aren't very good anyway, so I liked the heal. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Onshu is great. Special attack of 2 twice. I mean, you're just fishing for that 2 skull roll, so being able to attack twice is great. And 2 skulls, on average, is going to do some damage. So I actually like Onshu a lot. That's probably my favorite familiar. Chana, the heal is nice, but I feel like, I don't know, 12 or higher, like you're giving up an attack. I don't know. It's interesting. Like I'm not sold that she's going to be any better than the other familiars. I think their other familiars have more relevant abilities. Like healing, it's not a guarantee, right? So you give up an attack, and then if you fail, then it was a waste of a turn, right? At the very least, the other familiars, you have the opportunity to attack or do something, right? So that's why I don't like Chana so much, is it's like, yeah, you're rolling for him, yeah, you could heal. It's true, all those things could happen. And it's a dice game, so could is a loaded word, right? But I don't know, I'm not a believer, I'll be honest. Better than Kita? No, I think Kita's awesome. For 30 points, Kita's 6 move, can Phantom Walk. 4 defense is very underrated. 2 life is obviously squishy, but 4 defense is solid. And I love Kita for counter range, like Krav. She's a great Krav counter. You have to be like, what, 2 spaces away, I think, to even target her. Like, yeah, let's go. Like, you know, she's so I think she's just, I think Chana will fall by the wayside, honestly. I don't see her doing very much. Healing Wounds on Gellryie or Iwasha is better than an attack of 2 often. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you're not even... I guess if you're entirely just keeping her back only as a heal. If you're saying, hey, I'm not even ever going to attack, right? You're basically just like, she will be my healer. Then you roll for it enough times. I guess you're right. You'll get it. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see, right? I think as I play her, I've done this before with other designs, right? As I play her, I think I'll get a sense of, how valuable that heal can be. So, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. We'll just say that. Hot cheese, I feel 8 or higher would have been better since giving up the attack, especially since just removing the wound. Yeah, I agree. I think giving up a full turn essentially to try and heal, it should be more rewarding. I would agree with that. Anchu's attacks are pretty okay. I'll be using that over Channa's unless I'm really desperate. Yeah, getting wounds off on her on Awashi's card is pretty valuable. It's true. Yeah, but I mean, you're giving up a whole attack to do it. Like, right? What if someone's coming in and you need to stealth file in Zenith Wing to get a hide attack down on something and clear a unit? I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. I hold my opinion just based off of Theoryscaping, so we'll see. All right, Gellryie. I actually really like Gellrye's design. I thought that was really cool. The stat block is really good for 90 points. You can think of Channa as adding a healing power to any Dryan. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, so a 30-point healing mechanic. Okay. That's a reasonable... Yeah, kind of like... that's actually an interesting point that you make, because it's basically... Like if you think of Sonlin, right? Sonlin 1.0. Sonlin 1.0, right? He can move, he can heal, and he can Dragon Swoop and attack. He can do a number of different things in the same turn. But he's like 160 points, right? A lot of these, Dryons are like 100, right? Gellryie is 90, Washi is 115, right? And so you can actually fit them in, and 30-point Zenith, Channa, and you're actually, yeah, like you said, kind of just adding a healing mechanic. So that's a good point. That's interesting. That's an interesting take. I like that. That's fair. Okay, so 6-5-4-3, so melee. Really good stat block. I love the 6 life. 3 defense is always a little bit squishy, but the 6 life makes up for it. If it's a 5 life 3 defense, those tend to fall pretty quick, but I like the 6-3, especially with the healing mechanic. A 6-3 healing mechanic is solid. For 90 points, that's solid. Like 80 to 120 is kind of the sweet spot for those heroes that usually kind of just get good value. When you have those heroes below 80 points, you start just, sometimes they're just a wash and kind of a waste because they'll die in like 1 or 2 attacks, right? And then once you start getting above 120, you start investing so many points that sometimes, they just never deal enough damage, right? They'll get kills, they'll hold their own, but they can never fulfill their points, right? That 80 to 120 on average, generally you get a good solid hero that you're gonna get good value out of on average, right? And then when they die, it's not a huge deal. That feels like Gellryie, right? 6 life, 4 attacks, so gonna be doing damage, healing mechanic, which is awesome, right? That said, it's at the end of the round, so it's not like a troll, right? Or a troll, like a ice troll, or the D&D one, feral troll, where they heal after every turn. So once around, it's like, okay, it's not super broken, but it's good. It's still good. And with the way that AOA has been doing a lot of trees, right? And jungle anyway, in a lot of the early sets, there's a lot of maps that have them. And because of the limited line of sight blockers, for map makers, there's a lot of incentive to add jungle and trees to those maps. So, should be good. Reach is also super good for 4 attack, especially when height's involved, because you can kind of sit back on like a 1 hex or a 2 hex height, hold your ground, and still attack people. Love it. I think that's great. Wicked Thorns, right, instant wounds, they can stop their movement. I mean, that's just situationally really cool. I think that's going to be some some nifty gameplay implications there. Okay, so wizard. Wizard. Oh, right. I know. Yeah, I think all Dryons are wizards. Yeah. Dryon wizard, yeah. Patient. Interesting. I know that the art shows him like meditating as patient, but I don't really see patient. I'll be honest. I don't see patient as the personality here. Okay. We'll move on. Gellryie is cool. Pretty straightforward. I'm not seeing too much. Now here we go. Halochat. Love Halochat. Ever since this design was first released, love Halochat. I mean, that art is just cool. It's just so freaking cool. I mean, dude straight up hovering in midair with freaking massive muscles. What is that, snake? Oh my gosh, like snake wrapped around his body and super dope goat legs, and man, that is crazy. So cool. Sheesh. Alright. Yeah, and this stat block is Chef's Kiss. This stat block is Chef's freaking kiss. I love everything about this. Everything about this. Like, everything about this design is right up my alley. Like, I like a lot of things. I love this. No, I think people are gonna have a lot of fun. Now, that said, Halochat in Contemporary is going to be kind of right, because we don't have any large beasts. But in all time, this is going to be some of the most fun games you've ever played in your life, because Ice Troll Berserkers, whoo-wee, there's double bonding Ice Troll Berserkers with double heals every turn. Let's go. And now, I guess if you add Enchana, then you're healing Ice Troll Berserker again. So yeah, no, this is cool. So Command of the Wild, Corruptor of Beast. Before taking Halochat's turn, you can take a turn with up to 2 small, medium, or large beasts, which is awesome, right? So you can do any of the current beasts that have been released in Contemporary, or any of the large beasts like the Ice Troll in all time. I mean, there's other beasts in all time as well. Now, most of the beasts that are really big dealers are, huge, right? Like Mimring, Krug, whatnot, but oh, Channa can I think Channa can heal wizards or beasts, wasn't it? I thought it was wizards or beasts. I was pretty sure I saw that. I was pretty sure she could heal wizards or beasts. No, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was wizards or beasts. I could be wrong. It maybe. I think Channa has to be within like 4 spaces of a wizard, but she can heal a wizard or a beast, I believe is how it was worded. But yeah, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, Dryon, Unique Wizard, Arrogant, okay, Staff of Long Hand. Well, let's look at the stat block, right? So 5, 1, 3, 4. I am right. Haha, Sarkin, come on, get it right. I know what I'm talking about. No. Yeah, so the stat block is solid, right? We're looking at a solid stat block of, 5 life and 4 defense is no joke. Like, the staying power is really significant. And, I mean, to Donald's point, or Cytail, however you want me to refer to him on the channel, if you add Channa in and you're healing, like, yeah, no, that makes it really tough to deal damage here. And flying, so the mobility is really good. You have a special attack, right? So you don't have to go in and melee and start smashing stuff. You can just sit back and do ping shots. But when someone does engage you, you have the option, and if you're on height because you have flying mobility, you can do the special attack and a normal attack. Oh, and by the way, you already took a turn with 2 beasts, right? Like, so there's some awesome opportunity here. And then Calm the Beast is just, whatever, that's fine. Like, defending against an attack from a beast, Halochat increases your defense by 2. Oh, her. What? Okay, now normally I don't usually have an issue with gender. What? What? Okay, I guess. Interesting choice there. Yeah, no, there's nothing about this model at all that says female. I'm sorry. I will be referring to Halichat as a male, unfortunately. That is that I'm sorry, that maybe that's just me, but that's weird. That seems forced. There's nothing about that design. Anyway, whatever. That's just a personal issue. I generally would prefer that a design, anyway, we won't get into it. That just doesn't make sense. That looks like a completely masculine male design, but whatever. Okay, sure, Renegade, fine, whatever. The defending against an attack from a beast, defense by 2. So 6 defense against other beasts, which is actually kind of cool, because if you think about it, I guess in Contemporary, again, it won't be really a big deal, because you're going to have, the beasts right now are all just small and medium, so it's like, whatever. But in all time, actually, when you've got like the Krugs, right, or the Mimrings, right, that are actually out there with the Arrogruts and whatnot doing their thing, that's actually pretty relevant. 6 defense against those bigger beasts, which is actually pretty cool. And the 125 point mark is awesome, right? I think that's great. So the 125 points again is that sweet spot, right? And you're getting a really good stat block with abilities. So pretty happy with that. Halichat is, yeah, that looks awesome. And yeah, I think it's snakes wrapped around everything. I don't know what I think, is this all the snake? Yeah, it's gotta be, right? Yeah, I think the snakes are just wrapped around the entire body here. Huh. Yeah, that's crazy. That looks so cool. That looks so cool. Okay. Let's go to Marochat. Marochat, we've got... Oh, I forgot to scroll down. Okay, Marochat is one, I'll be honest, not super crazy about. Like, overall design is kind of... I'm just... Most designs, I would say, out of AOA have been really, really good. There's been some where it's kind of like, eh. And this is definitely one where I'm just kind of like, eh. The 6 life and 3 defense, again, is nice. Command Familiar is all on the Dryon, so sure, right? So there's value there. 110 points is, okay, fine. The Staff of Curipin. Now, this is cool, because 2 instant shields is crazy. Like, that's really good. Like, you need 2 instant skulls to deal damage to pretty much anything. And then the normal attack of 1, right? So, pretty much, whatever. You're going to get at least an attack of 2, maybe an attack of 3. So, pretty good odds of doing damage, but it's a melee figure, right? And then the Whisper is just, like, so inconsistent. Think of Mind Flayers. Now let's just double check this really quick. So after revealing an ore marker and an army card and taking a turn with Marochat, you may choose a unique hero. Okay, so unique hero, yeah. Within 2 spaces, which means you kind of have to be close to the front. If you've got other heroes that are doing damage on the front line, that means Marochat has to be on the front line. Roll a d20, adding 3 to your roll if you control it. So 13 or higher, like, okay, like, sure, decent. But if it doesn't go off, then kind of a useless ability. So the most you're getting out of Marochat is really just a solid single attack and then a familiar bond, which right now the familiars are okay. Not, like, amazing, though. So I don't know. I'm kind of meh on it, to be honest. If their hero is a 16 or higher, take temporary control of the hero, blah, blah, blah. Control chosen, so yeah, same as Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer has to roll 17 or higher, so like 16 or higher, okay, sure. Again, you have to be within 2 spaces, though. So, like, if it's an enemy hero, like, you kind of have to be attacking them or up on the front line. I do not see Marochat being at all relevant in the contemporary format, let alone all time. Unless there's, like, significant, like, beasts being added that are, like, super strong, like smaller medium beasts, but I don't get the sense that they're going to do that. Most of the small medium beasts are supposed to be, like, support characters, right? Which makes sense, right? For the kind of the big beefy Dryon wizards. I just never see the Marochat Whisper filling its points. It's the aura, or not the aura, within 2 spaces, and yeah, it's unfortunate. It feels like a Mind Flayer, and Mind Flayers never get played. Except me at Scape Summit. I did play Mind Flayers, which is actually hilarious. So, wait for that video to drop. HSD or a Marochat may not be the strongest, but she looks so damn fun. Gonna love forcing her every time I play Dread. Yeah, I mean, it will make for some fun games. Like team games, I think it could be actually... I think Marochat could be good. In team games, if you have a bunch of different people and they're all busy fighting each other and there's a bunch of heroes around, like, yeah. In a normal competitive environment, I don't think so. Yeah, you're relying too much on the D20 roll. Giving extra turns to your own heroes is pretty good. No, I know it is. But I just say look at a Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer does the same exact thing. Now he does it on a 17 or higher. Marochat does it on a 16 or higher. And actually, I would say Mind Flayer situationally is probably better. His stat block is 4 attack, 4 defense. So he's on average going to roll 2 skulls. And then on top of that, the Mind Flayer can also use his special attack that removes order markers. And so the Mind Flayer himself is like never played, right? Now there's synergy with Marochat, being able to do familiars and whatnot. So like again, yeah, I think Marochat will still be okay, but I don't see Marochat being relevant in most competitive play. Like if I had to sit down and play Marochat, play against Marochat, I'd be like, cool, I get a win. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about the design. I feel like if I sat down with whatever army I've pulled, I would get a win against Marochat. But that's just my opinion. Alright, don't mind me. A little under the weather still, so gotta clear it out a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we're done with Marochat. Let me know what you think. Obviously in the chat, it's good hearing what you guys think, but never hurts to be truthful about how I feel. Good point. The adding 3 should be more like 5 or 6. Let's see. So Marochat will likely suffer because any future releases they could benefit from will probably buff the other Dryad Wizards too, retain the power disparity between them. Yeah, yep, that's a good point. Yep. 200 max goals for an attack is nothing to sneeze at, but there's better wizard units. I feel. No, yeah, I agree. Like 200 max goals is great. It's a melee unit. Now, if it's a range unit, yeah, it would kind of be broken. So really, you're two sides of the spectrum, right? If you give Marochat some sort of range attack or just a range of like 3 or 4, but still the 2 automatic skulls, then Marochat is broken, right? Because 2 skulls from a range is just like whoa. So you make it a melee. Now, you make it a melee attack. It's just okay. So you have to look at survivability, 6 life, 3 defense, and then you're like, okay, well, survivability is decent, 6 life, 3 defense, but then what about the rest of the abilities, right? You have to roll, like, you have to be within 2 to take an extra turn with a hero, and that hero also has to be a 16 or higher, or a 13 or higher for your own. Like, there's a lot of conditions that have to be met for you to get value, is my problem. And I don't see competitively Marochat being relevant. So, we'll leave it there. Vrono, though. Love Vrono. Vrono's awesome. So, Brambletooth, not what I don't know what that is. I actually didn't check. Gellryie is Dryad, right? So, like, what? Like, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be... I thought they were supposed to be, like, the same. But clearly not, right? This guy is some sort of Brambletooth, whatever that is. And Gellryie, well, it is clearly different. They do have different, whatever. The miniatures are distinct. But I always thought that they were kind of the same. They're the same in the sense that they have the same ability. Well, technically it's worded differently, so I'd have to go back and check what the difference is. But I think it's the same, and they maybe just called it a different name for some reason. Because I think Gellryie's was something else. I don't think it was Sharp Thorns. I don't know. I'd have to double check. Anyway, 3 life. Wow. Yeah, 4 defense, 3 life. That's solid. That's super solid for 45 points. I would probably take Vrono over Onshu, actually, in a lot of situations, because that survivability is super solid. Well, Onshu is still pretty mobile and range attack and special, so I don't know, maybe. But against melee, Vrono's awesome, right? So you've got Gellryie is stronger. Okay, so yeah, there's something about it I must have missed. Probably the D20 roll, I guess. But yeah, 3 life, 5 move, 2 attack, 4 defense. So probably not going to do a lot of damage with a melee attack, but the survivability is good. I like that. I like that they're making the familiars decently survivable, right? With 2, 3 life and 3 and 4 defense. That feels correct. I don't think any of them have 2 defense. And if they made a familiar with 5, that might be pushing it. But anyway, we'll see. So when the figure moves onto his space, is using a run to extend its movement. 12 or higher, the figure ends its movement and lowers the attack value. Chain it a turn. Right, 18 or higher, they take a wound. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, I like that, which, again, increases their survivability, which is awesome. So, yeah, Vrono's good. Honestly, Vrono could be a solid Aerograt Bonder as well. Again, I think super solid, designed for 45 points. You know, even if he dies after a couple attacks or, you know, whatever. Generally, I feel like you're not losing too much on a 45-point Bonder like that. You know, if they soak a couple attacks like that, kind of feels like it fills its value. So, that's decent. Let's see. HS Diora, this feels like a targeted anti-pirate unit in the AoE meta. Seems okay against Wraith Riders too. Seems good, though I don't know if this is a niche that needs feeling. Yeah, like, yeah, true against the Wraith Riders. That's a good point. Wraith Riders are medium. Yep, pirates are medium. Yep, so it definitely keeps the pirates from engaging, you know, like, EJ's ability where he needs pirates engaged, for sure. But yeah, no, you're right. Pirates haven't been relevant ever. They've been pretty weak. I mean, the Exiles are strong, but in the contemporary format, like, it really has just been a Bears show, honestly. I think it is changing, though. It's shifting, for sure. Maladrix is no joke. Maladrix is no joke. And I think now that the Dreadnoughts have been released with Crimson, I think for sure it's going to shift again. I think there's a lot of opportunity for some really cool builds with those units. Vrono's niche is a defender for Drowned Wizards. Yeah, yep. No, that seems right. Okay, Crimson Widow. So, I don't want to say broken, because I don't think she's broken, but like, and again, an OP maybe is a bad word. It's not really OP. Oh, what happened here? Did I click the wrong link? That was weird. But I think Crimson Widow is, like, freaking crazy. Like, she's something else. There we go. Yeah, the hooked swords is cool. I like that. Actually, that's a pretty decent paint job. I like that. I think that looks pretty solid. Alright, 55143. 450 points, decent stat block. 5 life, 3 defense is cushy. So you got to be careful with her. You want to keep her back a little bit, kind of commanding the units. As 150 points, that's kind of the role she's filling. Is she's rolling a commander unit. She doesn't want to be on the front line, in my opinion, because for so many points, you really need her continuing to keep those abilities active. Now, one of them is active for the whole game, right? So at the start of the game, you may choose a unique squad in your army, and for this game, right, so they'll stay that way. The chosen squad's class becomes pirate, placing the card list in the other card. And that's just bonkers. It's really cool. What that means is army building will just be all over the place, which is awesome for Heroscape. The meta, I think, will take a little while for people to kind of figure out. Initially, it's just going to be her and bears. Like, she's just going to use bears to become her pirates. So, like, I think it becomes a little bit obvious what we're going to use, you know, what people are going to use. Pirate bears. So it's less, it's more obvious for the contemporary use. It's less obvious for all time. I think in all time, there's a lot of really cool options that you can do. You can take a bunch of unique squads and make them pirates, which is cool. But right now, you're going to be basically just saying, "Hey, bears, you know, you're my pirates now." Looks like a female Cabal from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's actually probably where the inspiration came from. Widow's great, gives pirates a massive boost, and gives you an extra tool to enable Jing. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Dreadnoughts, love Crimson Widow, right? Dreadnoughts just delete units. Like, Dreadnoughts delete units. And bears, especially. Dreadnoughts delete bears, right? So I think there's definitely a counter bear meta that we'll begin to see with both the Dreadnoughts and the Crimson Widow. I think Pirates now could become competitive. Once the Dreadnoughts get released and in the meta, yeah, EJ's gonna have the Dreadnoughts doing some major work. I think Pirates for sure. Midnight Raid, so Pirate Commander, the extra attack, right, and then Midnight Raid, just being able to develop, right? It's a free order marker, X order marker to develop your units, which is awesome. It's actually before taking a turn. That's pretty relevant. Up to 2 pirates you control within 6. Well, 3 spaces. It's still good. It's still good. Anyway, we've known about her for a little while, so not too much to talk about. But yeah, she's here. She's real. She's real. She does exist. Okay. Man, we still have 5 more designs. Man, they did a lot. Actually, we still have the promos too as well, which... Alright, speaking of Dreadnoughts, oh my gosh, that art's actually really good. Some of the art is a little suspect for whatever reason. I don't know if they use different artists or if the artist has just had a bad day or whatnot. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have a keen eye to know whether or not, this is the same artist style as maybe another one. They all seem about the same. But this is just way better than some of the other stuff. Like, this is really good art. Like, I love this. This is great. Super solid there. Dreadnoughts, again, these guys are just good. Good stats are good. 2 life, 6 move, 3 attack, 3 defense, 80 points. So when you lose them, you're not going to lose too much. Captain's Way, they get a bond with a captain, and they get an extra defense dice against range attacks. So they all have 4 defense, which is awesome. And then they, obviously the captain's orders, right? The bonding. And then Mortal Strike is just so freaking good. I don't think, if you haven't played very much, well, how do I say this? If you haven't played with the Master of the Hunt, I don't think you quite understand just how good this ability is. Like, in theory you can, but you don't really understand it until you play against it, or play with it, rather. Either way. And you just see how quickly, like units just get deleted. Like, Dreadnoughts will delete Adalbert. Like, he'll be gone in 1 turn. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Like, nobody is safe from these guys. That's what's so cool. Is, like, Master of the Hunt was always a really cool design, but really limited in what he could do because he had this weird range 4. And so, like, he might blank and then he becomes useless, right? And then he gets swarmed and dies because he's a 1-attack unit. But then, he got a range of 6 and he throws the javelin at you, right? But every once in a while, Master of the Hunt, rolls a good roll, gets some skulls, does some damage, and then he rolls a couple extra skulls and does more damage, and you realize, whoa. All it takes is 1 or 2 good rolls with that guy, and man, he's filling his points and killing stuff out the gate. But now you've got it on a unique squad that gets 3 attacks per turn, right? So, like, again, one of the issues with Master of the Hunt was that Master of the Hunt was a single attack unit, and that's always been one of the issues in Heroscape. And I don't want to necessarily say issues. Competitively, number of attacks is always better than the number of dice. Like, hey, I've got an attack of 8. Cool. What if you roll 2 out of 8? And then that, you spent 200 points paying for a hero that rolled a 2 out of 8 on a and that's happened to me before. I've defended against that, right? Subaknos comes in, 7 attack, right? And you're like, 2 skulls and I block it. Cool. Just wasted that. 2 attacks of 4 is way better than 1 attack of 8, right? Because, again, you're fishing for that good roll, right? You roll maybe 1 out of 4, but then you roll a 3 out of 4, right? Or a 4 out of 4, but then you blank, right? You still got 1 good roll. So, with Mortal Blow, the issue with Master of the Hunt was just he was a single attack unit. But now you've got 3 attacks per turn. Not to mention, if they're bonding, it's a 4 attack turn. So, a hero, bonding comes in, maybe engages a key unit, softens up a hero, whatever. And then these guys come in and base 3 attack. Now with Crimson Widow, base 4 attack. But they're 6 move, they're going to be getting height. Let's go. Like, they'll be on height. So they run in, you know, be on height, attack a 4. You're 2 skulls on average. That's hard to defend. Say they deal 1 wound. Okay. Roll 1 additional. Okay, that's 2 wounds, right? Because they got the 1 additional wound. Then the second one attacks. Say they do the same thing. 1 wound, okay, 1 additional. Say they only get 1 wound each. 3 wounds, right? I'm trying to like look at the screen, but you guys are over here. You have the opportunity to do 3 additional wounds, right? You have a 50% chance on each additional dice to do 3 additional wounds. So at minimum, the minimum damage that you're going to do is, well, I guess not minimum. Well, I mean, obviously the minimum damage is you don't roll any of the mortal blow wounds. But I guess my point is like six wounds, right? Like you're getting, you know, if you're doing at least 1 wound on each, but then you're getting to roll 1 on each, right? Your minimum is obviously 3 damage because you're 3 damage here, and then a potential for up to 6. Again, that's if you roll bad and you only dealt 1 wound on a unit, right? That's crazy, right? So think about this. You fish for a roll against a bear. Now each bear has 2 life. You get the wound, you have a 50% chance of killing that bear and deleting him right out the gate. Boom, gone, off the board. That's nuts, right? And against a hero like an 8 or a 7 or a 6 life hero, yeah, all it takes is 1 good turn. Dead, gone, off the board, right? It's understated how much a second bonding squad will help the pirates and one with a more staying power. Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. No, I 100% knew that pirates were irrelevant until the dreadnoughts were released. Like pirates have been irrelevant. Like exiles are good. Exiles are good. They have their place. But no, the pirate faction now is playable. The pirate faction is now playable. The dreadnoughts make them playable for sure. I'm excited to see how the meta shifts because it's going to be interesting. Now you've got to think to yourself, okay, so my heroes can just be deleted in a turn by the dreadnoughts. So, do I have something to deal with the dreadnoughts? Oh, bears. I don't know about that. You know, because if the dreadnoughts have 6 move and the bears have 6 move, but the bears lose attack on trying to engage, then the dreadnoughts can just kind of wait their time. They can just kind of hang back and say, hey, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. And then they can advance, and in 1 attack, boom, delete your bears. So I think dreadnoughts might end up being more of a staple squad with a bonded hero than the bears are with a bonded hero now. Like right now, the core army in Contemporary is usually Frostclaws and like Adelburn, or Frostclaws and like Alistair in all time, and then whatever else you're adding. So Maladrix, or maybe you're adding Exiles, or whatever the army is. But the core is always Frostclaws and Hero. I think Dreadnoughts are going to be the new meta because they counter bears. I think they beat bears. So if you bring Dreadnoughts at 80 points and then a bonded pirate hero, whichever one that is, you know, you can. It doesn't have to be Crimson Widow, could be, but it doesn't have to be. If you do that, then you've got, you know, you've only, like, bears are 120, but dreadnoughts are 80. So you're actually doing some savings there. And then if you have a cheaper hero, so let's just say Bonnie, Fia Bonnie, 80 points, but with a range attack of 4. Let's go. So that's 160 points for a core army, and then you add whatever else you want around it. That's pretty solid. So anyway, I think dreadnoughts are killer. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. Now for the Great Bow Archers. This pains me to my core. Okay, forget everything I just said, you guys, because the Great Bow Archers break all meta, even in all time. Great Bow Archers are broken. These are buy 6 or 8 squads, whatever you need to buy them, and bring them to every event, and you will win. You will. It's pay to win. It's pay to win with these guys. 100%. Absolutely 100%. It's pay to win. I don't think you guys understand how competitive players play the game with range. On the stream, the very thing that they said was, "Oh, the Grateful Archers are going to go take height and then blow you up." And I was like, no. The best players of Heroscape don't need to take height. Because the best way to play Heroscape, the best defense, is to never let your opponent attack you back. That's why range is so good, because if you can kite, if you can keep out of range and shoot your opponent, and your opponent never attacks back, you have the advantage. You're getting attacks that your opponent isn't getting back. So, let's talk about that. Okay, we just talked about the Dreadnoughts being good. 2 life, 3 attack, 3 defense. These guys are 3 attack, 3 defense, 6 range. They're 6 movement, 7 range. Their stat block's insanity. Insanity. Same price point, mind you, with the Dreadnoughts. 2 life, first of all, on a common squad is just like, what are you guys doing? Like, completely mind-blowing. Like, why in all that is holy are we adding... why are we adding multi-life to common squads? Oh my gosh. Functionally is just like terrible idea. Absolutely terrible idea. Unless you have a way to like magnetically create wound markers or like a notch on the base or something, this is a terrible idea to give common squads multi-life. You're going to have wound markers splayed all over the map. You're going to have people dropping and knocking their figures. Heroscape's a miniatures game. Miniatures get knocked. And you're expecting me to have, you know, I'll just say like 6 squads of these guys in an army, and I've got to track every wound on every one, and I'm moving them around, and oh, someone hit the board. Oh, crap. Which one's... Like, what? Like, come on. This is going to be so ridiculous. Anyway. That aside, common squad. Giant, so they're large, right? Large. When you're large, you are immune to, like, so many abilities in the game. Like, being large, in and of itself, has value. Because it's an immunity against so many abilities. So, they're large. 6 movement, which is crazy. For a range unit? Like, think about this. How good are Krav Maga agents? 6 move, 7 range. These guys have 6 move, 7 range! Like, what? Krav have 3 attack, 3 defense. These guys have 3 attack, 3 defense. Krav, now they have an ability where it's, you know, 1 shield blocks all defense. But these guys have 2 life. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So, yeah, already out the gate, I'm just like, whoa. Whoa. Stat block insanity. And then you look at Longshot, and I'm just like, there goes all competitive meta. Like, completely competitive meta out the window, in my opinion. Because the way that you play Heroscape is you play to win, right? Everyone plays to win. We all play for fun, of course. But when you're playing competitively, you play to win. The way you win in a lot of games is honestly somewhat, no, the word isn't toxic, degenerate. Like, a lot of people feel like it's degenerate to pot up, right? To hang back and to say, hey, come and get me. But at the end of the day, like, if you don't have the means in your army to assault my position, then I can, and I have range, then I can do whatever I want. And so when I play competitively, you saw Adepticon, I did that a few times. When I had my bears and Raylan, I walled up, and I had Krav come out, shoot, ping, back up, and shoot behind my wall. That's just the name of the game. I mean, that's how you win games. That's competitively how you play Heroscape. And so that happens a lot in Heroscape. You'll notice a lot of really good competitive players find ways to go out into the map, shoot, back up, and they'll sometimes be in their start zone. They won't leave their start zone because they're saying, my position is stronger on low ground shooting up to you and stringing you out than it is advancing into the map and getting closer to you, because I have range and you don't. And that's a very normal thing to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. This exacerbates that like tenfold. Like, completely tenfold. This is so broken, it's not even funny. Here's why. When a Great Bow Archer that has not moved this turn attacks a figure at range 4 or greater, add 1 to her attack value. Okay, great. So it goes from 3 to 4. That's still a solid attack. If the targeted figure is at range 7 or greater, instead add 2 to her attack value. A ranged figure with 3 attack can get 5 attack by not moving. Range 7. What? Imagine you're moving into the map. You're doing your best to grab glyphs, grab height, and you're just trying to attack and win the game. And your opponent's like, I get 5 attack dice from low ground, from my start zone, not moving. Get wrecked. All that extra defense from height, jungle, whatever, just is like out the window, right? Because 5 attack dice is insanity from 7 range. I'm just like, holy crap. Because here's how I would play every single matchup. Oh, well, depending. But, every single matchup with these guys. First off, 80 points. So let's do a standard 500-point army, right? You get 5 squads. So 5 times 8. No. What is that? No. Gosh, I can't do math. 6 times 8 is 48. So 480 points, right? 5 times 8 is 40. Yeah. So standard 500-point army, right? 500-point army is 500-point army is, gosh, 6 squads. Okay, my brain is failing me. Okay, so 6 squads. So I'm honestly going to buy 6 squads of these guys because in a standard 500-point army format, and I'm going to show this when I get these. I'm going to absolutely show this. For 6 squads of these guys, I will win every game. Now, at the end of the, okay, that's not actually going to happen, but I'm just saying it now because I want to express how broken this is. This is so incredibly broken. Because, no, I get it, Donald. I hear you. I hear you. Retreating while shooting means you don't get the long shot. I absolutely agree. But this is how I would do it, right? You have 6 squads, and I would sit them in my start zone. And now your start zone is, 2 to 3 hexes deep, right? So 2 to 3 hexes deep. So what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm going to have... let's see if visually I can do this. So if this is my start zone and I've got these hexes here, right? So we're looking at the top down. Well, maybe I should just pull up anyway. Do you want me to do a drawing? Do you want me to draw you what I'm talking about, or is it easier for me to just kind of explain it? I'm just curious what you guys think, because I'm thinking of drawing a start zone and showing you what I mean of why this is broken. But let me know what you guys think, because I don't want to spend too much time diving into this. Maybe if you're interested. No. Jin, nope, you can't outplay the 7 range boost. You can't do it, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why you can't outdo the boost. Onlinescape. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll just generate an online board and share it here. Okay, yeah, give me. I want to show you why this is going to be super degenerate. I will win almost all my games playing it this way. And if I get proved wrong, great, awesome, prove me wrong, right? If that's going to happen. Okay, so let's. Gosh, okay, so let's just pull up Heroscape.org and generate a map. We'll just generate a random map. Okay. How do I generate a map? I can't remember. Wait, where? Tools? No. Play. There we go. Duh. Okay, Aeon. Aeon's one of the most strong. Well, I don't want to say strongest. It's one of the most highly known flash maps. It's one of the highly competitive maps in the community, right? Tell me if you can see that. Okay, you guys can see that, yeah? Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how crazy this is. So at range 7, they get +2. So what I would do is, let's see, let's just do a little, maybe, let me copy in some figures, and I'll just do a couple figures here really quick. Because I think this is important. I think this is actually pretty important because this is kind of crazy. It's kind of silly how good this is. I'm going to use Aubrey and Archers. Let's just do this. And again, I could be totally proven wrong. I'm absolutely theoryscaping here. But I think this is going to be at the highest level competitively. This is how you would play it. Okay? So, let's see. Sweet. Okay. So let's just make a bunch of these, right? So let's just say we have 6 squads. Okay, 2, 4, 6. And let me know if, when I start explaining this, if you have any questions or if you don't really understand where I'm going with this, absolutely tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, please tell me. Because I want to try and be clear, as clear as possible with the implications of this. Okay, so let's just do that. Cool. All right, so if I'm playing a game of Heroscape and my opponent's coming out, this is how I'd start, right? With the Great Bow Archers, I would do like most normal people do. I'd advance out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd advance out something like this. Now with range 7, maybe I can already take a shot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So I'm already threatening this line of my opponent. So let me just thicken this so it's a little bit easier. There we go. So I'm already threatening this line of my opponent, okay? On turn 1, because of my 6 movement, 7 range. Again, Krav are really, really strong. So already out the gate, my opponent's got to think, man, in 1 turn I'm already getting pot-shotted by these things, right? And they've got 2 lives. So even them shooting back isn't guaranteed to just pop off a giant, right? Because they each have 2 life and 3 defense. And if they're on height, maybe 4, right? Maybe I went up to this level 3 instead. Anyway, so right out the gate, you've got pressure. My opponent, maybe he advances towards me, and maybe he advances, we'll just say, to this line, right, on his first development. And so I say, okay, well, if I stay here, I don't want to just get 1 attack of 4, right, because I don't want to just sit. So I'm going to play the backup game like you do sometimes, right? So I do this, and I shoot, and I ping, and okay, say he develops, and he develops now here, and he starts developing his army. So maybe he starts developing up here. Now remember, he's trying to chase you, but maybe he feels bad about chasing you, and he's like, I don't want to get strung out. So he just sits a couple units here, and then so he starts developing up the rest. Well, again, you can decide, hey, I want to sit here and shoot, or I want to move maybe over here or here and force him to kind of come out to the sides. There's a lot of things you can do. But let's just say he finally develops, and he does his best, and he's like, you know what, I've developed my whole army to the middle of the map. So let's just say he's here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He develops to this line, or maybe just past it, maybe here, or he develops here. As soon as he hits this line of development, if he leaves any unit here, again, so let's just say I'm pinging him the whole time and then I decide to back up. Once he reaches this line, I don't have to do anything else out of my start zone. I don't have to develop at all. I can sit there and just say, you know what, come at me, bro. If he has 5 movement, how does he come? How does he come and get me? Right? Because I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, you put anyone on this line, I get an attack of 5 on this line right here. Anyone that's right here, I get an attack of 5. So maybe my opponent's like, cool, well, I'll sit back on this line. So I can't reach you. Okay, fine. But then how are you going to reach me? Right? Again, if you only have 5 movement, how are you going to reach me? I have 7 range. So if you're sitting back there, maybe I move out and take a pot shot, right? Okay, well, what if he decides, you know what, I don't want to get hit by 7, I'm going to move up and get hit only by 4. Here's where it's broken. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, this is 6 range away, so there's no possible way he's going to get 5 attack dice. Wrong. Where can he get attack dice from? Okay, so if he's got a unit right here, correct. From this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's only 6 away. You're absolutely correct. That guy would only be an attack of 4. Where does he get an attack of 5? From this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, sorry, this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So instead of attacking with the guy closer, you just attack with the guy a little bit farther away. And then what if he's like, well, fine, I'll charge in, and I'll almost engage you, I'll get there. Okay. Now what? You're still 7 spaces away from one of my figures, aren't you? What, this guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this guy now attacks you. This guy is all the way on the opposite side of the start zone, but he can now attack you because he's, even though you're 2 spaces away from the front of my start zone, you are now 7 spaces away from this guy still. So I still get an attack of 5. And then what happens if, we'll just say this guy engages here, right? He's finally engaged. He's going to attack. All right, well, this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, sorry. Let's just say that guy's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy, who's behind a wall of other giants, can now shoot this guy from 7 spaces away. So yes, that's correct. These guys would only get an attack of 4, but these guys will get an attack of 5. Or, sorry, these guys over here will get an attack of 5. Well, what about, you're like, okay, fine. I'll advance on this way, and I'll attack this side. Okay, well, then I'll use this guy to attack from an attack of 5. I will always be able to get an attack of 5. That's what's crazy. You guys understand this? Am I making myself clear? Like, do you see how this is broken? I'm going to run out, I'm going to ping shot you, and the entire time I'm ping shotting you, I'm going to keep backing up. And you're going to advance, and you're going to advance, and you're going to be like, man, that's annoying, I can't do damage because he has 2 life. And then you're going to advance, and you're going to come to that, and you're going to say, well, I can't sit at the 7 because he's going to hit me for 5, so I'm going to jump to the 6. And you're like, I'm safe. But you're actually never safe. Because one of these guys on the edges can still be 7 spaces away from any one of these hexes. And so then you're like, fine, I'll advance to the 5 or the 4 spaces away or 3. I'll advance farther. I'll get to them. I'll get too close for them to deal damage. And I just proved that you can be engaged with one of these giants and they're still getting the bonus of 5. They're still getting an attack of 5 because they'll be on the edge of the start zone, hitting and blowing up your figure over here. So I would take this guy, attack over a guy that's over here, and then I would take this guy and attack a guy over here. You see what I'm saying? And that's just with the great bows. This is not accounting for anyone that wants to throw in a Raylan, anyone that wants to throw in Death Reavers if it's all time. This will break the game. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to run this army times 5, right, for 400. And then if it's a 500 plus point total. But then I'll do a Raylan at 125 in Renegade points. Imagine Raylan protecting all of these guys in the start zone, so 5 defense and 2 life each, while they're blowing you up with 5 dice at 7 range. Yeah. Subatomic Monk, didn't you state that more attacks is always better? There are only 2 of them. Okay, so yes, that is true. That's why I think I'm entirely theoryscaping here, right? I am, the proof is in the pudding, right? I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to take my Knights of Weston and prove you wrong. It's possible. It's possible. But here's the thing, is it's not even just so much winning as it is, this is a very... It's not degenerative, but in a sense it is for a lot of people. Like, this is how you play the game with range, right? You shoot, you back up, you shoot, and say, come to me, come and get me. But what feels wrong about it is that they're stronger from low ground. They're like, well, I'm sorry, not necessarily stronger. They're just as strong, or they can be just as effective, or they can play out of their start zone almost better than they can play in the map. Because if you're going into the map, then you're actually giving up their ability. Because if I'm moving into the map to take shots, then I don't get their long shot. It's when they don't move that they get their long shot. So long shot is actually most effective by staying in your start zone. Because you can say, I don't care if you take height. I don't care if you go in the middle of the map. Take the glyphs all you want. I've got 7 range. So I'm going to ping shot you, and then when you come within this 7... Once you get within 7 of my start zone, for the rest of the time you're advancing your army, you're going to take damage, right? You're going to take 2 attacks of 5. To your point, number of attacks is usually better than number of dice. But you're getting 2 attacks. How many times has Kamigawa won you a game? A lot, because he gets 2 attacks of 4, right? How many times has Krug won you a game? A lot. Now, obviously, that's a little bit different. He gets... 9 attack dice or whatever when he's almost dead. But my point is like a double attack, like Savaris, double attack, anything that has at least 2 attacks plus is really, really good. You're right, 5 activations on like a Night Squad or something is gonna be silly. But now let's take this in the context of Contemporary. Contemporary doesn't have Knights of Weston, doesn't have bonding, heavy gruts and all these things, doesn't have Raylan Rise of the Valkyrie, doesn't have a lot of other range units that counter range. Contemporary has nothing. But now they have a broken range unit that's just going to delete heroes from low ground in the start zone and say, hey, come at me, bro. Hey, come at me, bro. Come on. Anyway, yeah, finally Glenerva gets used. Yeah, that's true. You know, that's true. Glenerva, her price maybe goes up. Maybe her value goes up by a lot here. That's a fair point. Interesting to see a test game of these guys versus Night Spam. Based on what you're saying, they seem ideal against slow-moving melee, but this matchup also strains their low. Yeah, like, again, you know, maybe I'm proven wrong, right? Maybe I'm just going on a rant here and I'm proven wrong and, you know, the good stuff stays good. I don't think so. 2 life on a common squad is bonkers. I mean, if you get 6 squads of these guys at 480 points, that's 12 figures with 24 life. That's a lot. Anyway. Okay, done with the rant. Let's move on. I spent like 40 minutes ranting about that. Hopefully you guys found some value in that. I mean, there's still 30 of you live, it looks like. So, I mean, you know, there's some interest in hearing... Oh, wow. Okay, they actually... they're still going on there. What is this? Oh, the Game Designer Roundtable. Well, maybe if whoever's actually watching that, maybe they'll share if we missed anything. Okay, what am I going back to? Oh, yeah, I'm going back to the... Okay, done with the Great Bows. Off my soapbox. Oops, I keep doing that. I keep scrolling down when I have to go to the top. Alright, Embers of War, Scions. Okay. Excuse me. Apologies for that. Alright, Mini Braxis, Mini Nelfheim, Mini Mimring. Yay! 75 points. Right off the bat, seems a little bit high for their stat block. Excuse me. Sorry, man. Seems a little bit high. 5 move flying is good, but 2 attack, 2 defense is like, the staying power is just so low. So 75 points seems like a high price point. That said, it's a common squad, which is awesome, and I love that we get some really cool bonding. Even if they're not super strong, the fact that Sonlin has a dragon bonding squad is like, chef's kiss. So, not gonna lie, super excited about this. So at the start of the game, choosing... actually, and here's what I had forgotten. This is crazy too, right? Because it's any Archmage, Dragon, King, or Queen. Which is really interesting, considering that we already have a Queen, Queen Maladrix, as part of Contemporary. Obviously, you know, in all time, you know, you can do some silly fun things, right? You know, you can bond with any of the dragons, right? So that's fun. So that adds a lot of really interesting, fun synergy to all time. But in Contemporary, you know, it's kind of cool that Maladrix, you know, is a queen. King does not exist in Contemporary. Now it does in all time, but it's a double up because it's Nelfheim and Karos. They're both kings. So what's cool about that is that has some future synergy that's actually pretty neat, because if they ever decide to make a king unit, like a historical unit, or not even historical, a fantastical king unit, even if it's not a dragon, they'd be able to bond, which is awesome. So Cleave to the Mighty. They control to be their liege, and before taking a turn with the Scions, you may take a turn with their chosen liege. So it's just straight up bonding. And it can be an Archmage, Dragon, King, or Queen. And an Archmage is right, actually... does that also include... Shoot, what's her name? Is it Eladrin? Sharwin. Yeah. Is she an Archmage? No, battle mage. Dang it. She's a battle mage. Dang. Okay, I was gonna say that'd be awesome. So I think it is just Sonlin then. Oh yeah, Sudema. That's right. Yeah, Slugscape. Yeah, appreciate that. That's right. Duh. Of course, Sudema. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, Sudema bonding. Let's go. Actually, in all time, Sudema. If you're not doing VC customs, Sudema now has a bonder. That's actually pretty dope. Not gonna lie. That might make Sudema decently playable. When I say decently playable, like she's she dies in 2 attacks, right? But that's still pretty sweet. And then Draconic Breath special attack, range 4 attack 2 only figures within 3 clear sight spaces of the Scion of Cures of Liege can be targeted with Draconic Breath. Okay. So basically the way that works is they have to be near your Liege. So your Liege can't be in the start zone. Right, your Liege can't be 10 spaces away, being safe. Your Liege has to be up in the front if you want to give them the special attack. Which is okay. Range 4 attack 2, you're getting 3 attacks of 2. If you've got heights, though, 3 attacks of 3 is better, and you don't have to be next to your Liege, so that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think these guys will basically just get in the way of opponents, right? They're not going to carry a lot of be a lot of damage dealers. They'll sneak some wounds, they'll sneak some kills, but I think their intention is to kind of get in the way and get killed themselves, while your queen, king, queen, whatever liege is dealing damage, right? So Sonlin is going to have some fun just because he gets a bonder, right? That's awesome, right? It's going to feel very thematic running Sonlin both in contemporary and in all time. And then obviously just any king, queen, dragon, whatever. I think there's some cool synergies there that can be played with in the future, right? I mean, there could be future designs that buff these guys, right? Maybe there's a really good bonder that gives them some sort of stat bonus or something, kind of like the pirates when they get, bonuses from their commanders or whatever. Maybe. Anyway, just something to think about. So yeah, no, it's super cool. Scions of Icaria. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's see. Okay, gosh, still got 2 designs. Man, I'm taking too long reviewing all these. I'm getting exhausted. Oh man, so much to think about. These guys are interesting. Let's read through this because I didn't fully catch what these guys are doing. Okay, first of all, 4-man squad. 4-man squad's good, right? 4-man squads are good. If you bond with Queen Maledrix, she also turns Festering Honor Guard. No, I'm pretty sure Queen Maledrix states on her ability that she has to reveal an order marker on her card. So yes, you could bond with Maledrix, but you couldn't chain bond with the Honor Guard. So, but you could split order markers, right? You could do turns between Maledrix and the Scions if you really wanted to. Might be fun. Okay, so 5-1-3-2, 65. 65 feels good for a 4-man squad, and the 3 attack is solid, with an attack of 2, defense of 2, which is pretty weak, pretty lame. But, I mean, 4-man squad, right? There's lots of 4-man squads that have 2 defense. I mean, Death Chasers, what are they called? The Highland Hero, or McDurk Warriors, right? So, I mean, that's pretty normal to have kind of a weaker defensive squad there. At the start of each round, after placing order markers, you may move each fierce and unfathomable figure. Oh! You control up to 1 space for each of your order markers on the Gellryie. Whoa! That's really good. That's actually really good. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. At the start of each round, after placing order marker, I mean, that's basically the Death Chaser's ability. But better, in a way, actually. You may move each fierce... These guys are fierce and unfathomable, and the Krakenling is unfathomable. Figure you control up to 1 space, but for each order marker on the Gellryie Vanguards. Well, if you're going full on in on the Gellryie Vanguards, and you're going 4 order markers, that's 4 spaces. If you've got 4 or 5 squads of these guys, you're moving the entire army, just like the Death Chasers, 4 spaces on the first round of the game. And then guess what? For the rest of the game, every round, you get to move in one space for every order marker on these guys. Like, that's awesome. That's a super solid ability. I like that. I think that's super dope. Defend the Deep. A Gellryie Vanguard adds 2 to its defense value when it's on a water space, naturally, or when it defends against an attack from a figure that has height advantage. I don't know the theme behind that, to be honest. Like, that seems a bit weird to me. I'm not really sure why they get stronger being on low ground. Right, so someone that is attacking down, they get an attack of 4, which is awesome. So that kind of means you want to... Well, okay, so I guess that means you want to stay on low ground near water, where water tends to be on low ground. So I get that. That's interesting, though. Like, you never want height with them. That actually feels a lot like my Scorpion design in the SOV. Very similar, not exactly the same, but very similar vibes there. But no, that's interesting. So you're better off going same level or higher, or sorry, same level or well, not lower, but same level to kill them, so they don't get +2 defense. Yeah. For those of you that are familiar with my Scorpion design, that feels very much like Underbelly. Or, similar to it. Similar in the sense that you want to keep low ground with these guys. Because if you're keeping low ground, then they got 3 attack, 4 defense on low ground. Man, these guys are gonna be tanky. And then obviously swim, they can run through water, which is cool. Low ground equals the depths as a flavor connection. I don't know. I agree with it. Yeah. I don't. Lurking in the water, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Like, in the water makes sense, and I get that. If it was just in the water, they would be useless, because water is very sparse on most maps, and usually water for map makers is an afterthought, because water blocks movement. And so, you don't usually put water in places where it's going to impede movement. So, they had to make them relevant, but thematically, I don't really think that flies. Gellryie are enemies of Kyrie, so they got good at fighting upward. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I guess if that's the lore, if that's a lore connection, then yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that, so Saito, appreciate you jumping in on that. Yeah, if that's a lore reference, then okay. And I guess that kind of makes sense as a defender. If you've got that big ol', staff and you're blocking, you're like, ah. Anyway, okay, interesting. Cool. I think they're good. I think they'll be good. 65 points is super solid for a 4-man squad. Super solid. Alright. Let's go to Krakenling. Man. Oogie. Yeah, this guy's crazy. These Krakenlings are silly. Kraken. Well, that's interesting that it's a Kraken, but it's a Krakenling. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Kraken's a species, but it's a small one, I guess. Which is interesting because I kind of feel like they're alluding to actually having a real Kraken as a future unit, which would be interesting. And I didn't know this about Krakens, but I guess they can teleport and warp space. Didn't know that, so that's cool. Monster Unfathomable, so they get moved by the Gellryie things. They're large, so okay, they get immunities to a lot of stuff. Swim makes sense. Instead of moving normally, you may place a Krakenling on an empty space within 4 spaces. If a Krakenling is engaged when it starts warp space, it will take. Okay, so it does take leaving engagements, but it can still just blip around the map. And don't underestimate that. I mean, that is powerful. I mean, around walls, behind walls, it's basically flying. Yeah, I mean, it's basically flying. That's just really strong. 4 movement is not 4 movement. that it can move more than 4 movement. 3 life is super solid with 5 defense for a common hero, which is relevant because Scytail pointed out that uncommon heroes, what we would expect to be an uncommon hero, it's not. It's still a common hero, so it doesn't get affected by unique hero abilities. And uncommon heroes are, by definition, considered as unique heroes. So they are affected by unique hero dependencies or unique hero abilities. And uncommon heroes, you need a separate card for each one. Common heroes, you don't. So with a common hero, you only need 1 card. And then you can activate any common hero that exists on the board, which actually saves you order markers if you ever have an order marker on them. So the wounds won't be tracked on the card. The wounds will have to be tracked on the miniature. Unless, of course, you really do want to like put a sticker on every miniature and card, then you could do it that way. But I'm not going to bring, 4 cards for a Krakenling. I'll bring just 1. And Anyway, but yeah, super solid stat block. Base deck of 4, Eldritch Switch. So aside from warping, you give it a Warforged ability, right? May switch spaces with an adjacent single space figure, and they don't take leaving engagements. So, so I guess you can do one or the other. You can warp space, because it says instead of moving normally, or you can Eldritch Switch. So you're basically saying, hey, I didn't warp space this turn because I'm engaged with, 5 guys, so now I'm just going to Eldritch Switch. So then you just switch spots, so it's basically Warforged, right? Taking a unit, dropping it on a low ground, and you take high ground. That's freaking good. And then on top of that, you get 3 attacks with 4 dice, right? Now, obviously, that goes down. It's a Hydra. It's a mini Hydra, right? So that goes down with every wound. 5 defense, though, is super solid, so, you're getting a lot out of that. So, no, this is good. Not sure how I feel about it overall. Again, the warp space seems weird to me. It's a water unit. I don't know the lore behind Krakens in general. Maybe there is something there. But this one apparently has learned how to come out onto land and teleport around the map. So, yeah. No, it's cool though. It's cool. I like it. I do like it. The miniature looks pretty sweet. Yeah, I do like that. Cheaper Fen Hydra, I wonder which will be better. Well, Fen Hydra I think is still, still better. I would still say the Fen Hydra is better. Krakenling has more synergies though, so in practice maybe the Krakenling. Okay, so that's everything? No, I'm missing the promos. We've seen Raylan, I believe. I think we saw Raylan last time, so I won't bother going into that. Decker. I think we did Decker last time, because that was when he was announced, was last time. So I'm pretty sure we did Decker last time. And Raylan was just re-announced again, so I think the only promo is Deflectatron. Which I've got to look at this, because I was not reading this correctly. And I did not understand. A lot of verbiage there. Okay. So decent stat block, 4 move, range 1, 3 attack, 4 defense, stubborn guard. Okay, guard, so there's some guard synergy. Orbital deployment. What do we got here? Figures with the orbital deployment special power do not start the game on the battlefield, right? At the start of the round. Or maybe you can place 1 deflect. Okay, so you just automatically get a place 1. On an empty space within 3 clear sight spaces of a friendly figure. Okay, so you get to only deploy once per round. You can only deploy 1 per round, and it has to be within 3 spaces. So that keeps it from being a little bit too broken, because what it'll do is it'll keep you from dropping it in the middle of the map. Going on an empty space. Okay, so they can't take glyphs with it either. Makes sense. Passive. A Deltacron never makes leaving engagement attacks. Okay, which makes sense, right? It's not someone's running past it. It's not actively swiping at them. That's thematic. Magnetic Deflector Shield. Figures adjacent. to one or more Deflectatrons cannot determine clear sight to any figures. Figures adjacent. That's your own figures too. When a figure adjacent to one or more of your Deflectatrons defends against an attack from a non-adjacent figure, change one die result that was not a shield to a shield, if possible. Magnetic Deflector shield is negated while adjacent to another figure with the Magnetic Deflector shield special power. Huh. Okay, so if they're next to each other, it just negates each other's power. This is kind of confusing. I'm not sure how I feel about it. So if I'm adjacent to it, I can't, not myself, and no, like enemies or me, can't determine clear sight to any figures. So I can't sit underneath my Deflectatron and shoot at you, but you can shoot back at me. That just makes no sense. Now, when I'm adjacent to my own Deflectatron, and I defend against an attack from a non-adjacent figure, whenever I roll, I take one of those dice that was a blank or a skull, and I just change it to a shield. Okay, so as I'm moving through the map, if I'm a melee army, and I've got a bunch of these and I drop them into the map, I can basically use them as waypoints, right? So I run up to one, hug around it, kind of like a tree, like a jungle tree, and I kind of use them to kind of vault my way into my opponent if he's got range. Because me having clear sight doesn't matter as I'm melee, but I'll get basically an insta-shield. Interesting. But you would never use these in your range army. There's no reason to use these in your ranged army. That I can see. Because when you go adjacent to it, I mean, you can't shoot anything. And it only protects you when you're adjacent. It says one per customer. When placing a pre-order, can anyone confirm I can get additional menus by ordering separately on the same account, or would I have to order as guest or different accounts? Yeah, I might have. I don't know. I might have broken the system when they saw me order 10 separate orders. It's possible that they didn't like that. So maybe one per customer is all they're gonna do. These guys could be good against the Great Bow Archers. Just plop them down in the enemy area. Well, you can't, right? Because they have to be plopped down within 3 spaces. So, well, I mean, okay, to your point, if you hold on to them and you don't deploy them, sure. But you have to wait to deploy them until you're within 3 spaces of your... Well, they can only be deployed within 3 spaces of your figures. So, if you're going to deploy them, you got to use them once you've advanced to the Great Bow Archers. But that's going to be hard to do because Great Bow Archers are going to be shooting you that whole time. So timing the right time to drop them and whether or not you can use them. And again, it's only it's an insta-shield, which is nice. So yeah, it'll help. But anyway, Deflectatron turns stealth dodge into a guaranteed success, right? Actually, it does. It does. That's interesting. So in a way, you could use it with Krav, but you'd just have to be a lot more patient, right? Because you wouldn't be able to attack while you're under one. So you'd have to move out, take shots, survive, right? And then you could move back and just like sit down. But then what are you doing? You're not killing anything, right? So I'm not sure it's that useful. Anyway, I've been online for 2 hours. It's a long time to be watching and talking Heroscape. I do it a lot. I went to a convention all weekend and that was exhausting. And I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm a little bit sick today, so my voice is starting to get shot. I've been coughing and sneezing and all this stuff, so I appreciate you guys, dealing with that and being okay with that. Hopefully you guys had a good little, experience kind of reviewing these. I think I covered everything. Deflectatron was the only promo figure, so yeah, no, we covered all the units. I'm pretty sure. Oops. Oh yeah, sure I can do that. Yeah, my opinions of a lot of things are pretty in good spirits. I feel good about things overall. I really do like where Renegade's taking things. The hero pack surprised me being 70. That seemed really high when the army packs have always been 55, but even with tariffs, I knew they would go up. They said they would go up to 60. They said the army packs would go up to 60. Now they put that one, for whatever reason, up to 70. So aside from that, overall, I'm pretty happy with how the reviews went. I think there's a lot of really good units that are going to shift the meta significantly. Great Bow Archers, prove me wrong. I'm going to buy 6 squads of those things, and I'm going to try and break it. And in Contemporary, I think they're just going to completely own the meta. And unfortunately, because they're a common squad, I think they will just delete all the uniqueness out of the Contemporary meta. I have no problem with common squads. I love common squads. And in fact, that's how I prefer playing Heroscape. With the Contemporary meta, though, you do have to be very careful about how you introduce common squads. And I think Great Bow Archers are being introduced at a time when we're getting decent parity with how the meta has been. For example, the Bears have owned the meta for so long, but now we're seeing Maladrex armies win, and I think now we're going to see some Dreadnoughts and Pirates have some more, presence and win. I feel really good about the Contemporary meta, but once these drop in October, I fully anticipate just Great Bow Archer spam owning the meta. I'm calling it now. Mark my words. We'll see. I could be wrong. I'd love to be wrong, actually. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong and see that these do not own the Contemporary meta. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case. Especially when you have Scions, which are cool, but those aren't going to go up against Great Bows. And then you have the Gellryie squad, which, cool, but it's a melee squad, so, they're not going to go... They're going to be attacking from... they're going to be advancing through the map well, but they'll have to, be only rolling 3 defense because they'll be on height. It's going to be hard to take low ground when your opponent's already on a low ground spot in their start zone. So, anyway, I'm going to sign off. Appreciate you guys sticking around. I've got nothing else to say. You've heard me say a lot. Thank you for sticking around. If you're already planning on buying Heroscape, please do so with the affiliate link. You can see it on screen. It's in all my video descriptions. It's a great way to support the channel. Again, if you're already planning on buying, really appreciate it. Thank you for those that continue to support the channel in that way. It's a natural way to participate, and thank you. And also, obviously, my other tag there, Heroscape.com. There's other, swag that you can check out and merch there for my own website that I created there. So if you're interested, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Some of that stuff is custom made by a lot of our community members, so some cool stuff there. Anyway, stay tuned. We will have lots of future battle videos coming. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.